to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the Windsor Castle for the royal wedding. So quick, boys, load up on silverware and anything that isn't bolted down. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey, we're back. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Woo! It's been too long, folks. It's so long I can't even count the days. Whoop! Brother Bob, we're still here. We're still alive. Oh, that's what that was. Gotcha. Jay, we can't hear Uncle Jay. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jay. All right, technical difficulties. It's like I said, it's been so long.
Some bullshit, I'll tell you that right now, huh?
And that intro was so good.
Just for that, I'm just going to have another big
Just tell me
swig
about
of this
we're all
rum.
a fluster.
Turn me down so you can put that in.
Oh, okay. I see. We're all learning.
Every time Bill fucks up, Uncle Jay takes
I
a
know.
drink.
Very good. I appreciate. Now I got to put you back up. Right. This is actually stuff I thought about earlier,
But didn't do.
but this just kind of all fell apart. We can't possibly have a really great opening,
Yeah.
and then
No.
and then.
Well, I did kind of surprise you with that whole.
But that worked.
Yeah.
But that worked. I loved it. I took the feel from it too. I wrote the vibe on it because that's
Yeah.
not the way that sounded in my head when I wrote it.
We got to be on the same page later on in the show, right?
Oh God, I hope so. Because my whole plan with that opening was to do the English accent and everything. Royal wedding and all.
Oh, dude, I could have done it.
I know. Oh no.
I could have done the whole fucking thing, you know,
But you know what, Bob?
with the whole guitar.
But you know what, Bob? It doesn't matter. We still turned it up to 11.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
This one goes to 11.
All right. So this
It's
is
only 5 watts, but it goes to 11.
speaking of numbers. This is episode 158, and I'm Bill Sweeney. We should probably do that. I'm Bill. That's Jay.
Uh-huh.
That's Brother Bob.
Hey, what's up?
And that's right. That's it. Nobody else. Just
right.
us. No Ed O'Hare.
No, boo fucking hoo-hoo.
No Dom Torrey.
No, boo,
Who
another
supposedly is on the
Yeah.
horizon to come back soon. So
That's what he says.
that's what he says.
Well,
It was. What was? I'll
he's
see
near
you
his
in May.
college. Yeah, I
Right?
believe he's near his college graduation.
Yeah. He is nearing it. It's closing in.
A very momentous day.
A
So
momentous day for every young man.
yeah. He's only been going to college about 12 years, right?
Something like that. I know that's what it would have been for me. So yeah, kids, we're back. We're feeling good, refreshed. We took a little break, and I don't know if anybody noticed, but we wasn't here. So if anybody's got emails, I wonder if there's like extra emails because I haven't checked it.
I wonder if there's any John Goodman quotes because Ed was out today. Man, you going to send in fucking John Goodman quotes?
That's a good one. That's a
Yabba
good one.
dabba dude, here's your John Goodman quote.
Oh, we should have done that straight from that. See, if we were a real professional show, we would have figured that out ahead of time. Like, how do we
little
comment
planning.
on Ed not being here? We could have all done John Goodman quotes.
Yeah, or you could have just be fine with what I just did and,
Yeah, no,
and move on to the next
Oh, I got
official
you.
biz.
I could have let you have your moment, right?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
just took it away from you. Sorry.
Exactly. It's all right.
It's all about you, Jay.
All the time.
No, but I hate doing that to people, though. I do. Because I hate when it's
Yeah.
done to me.
You
I hate
can
when I
yell-
feel like I have a moment and someone walks all over it. I'm like,
Remember
oh,
when
this
you yelled
fucking
at me?
show. Why am I
I'm
on
said
this
I'm
stuff?
sorry, Bill.
Yeah, remember when you yelled at me?
Good one,
But I
Bob.
didn't care.
Bob gets a bell for that. That's the first bell. I should probably open up the
Because there's
chat.
truth. It's funny because there's truth in it.
Yes. Jeepers Creepers, kids. All right. So yeah, this is episode 158. Emails are open if you want to squeeze one in there. If you're listening live,
Yeah,
you
hurry
can
up,
still
Wesley.
You can still send it to us. Podcast@wickedtheory.com. Nice and simple. Wicked Theory is the name of the thing. Podcast. That's the kind of thing. And it's an email. So if you don't know how to do that yet, get off the internet. All right.
And go fuck yourself, too.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far yet.
If
I'm
you,
saving
don't
that.
if you don't know how to do email, I think you need to go get your kids and ask them.
Yeah, that's.
Or
I
the
don't know-
grandkids.
And I don't know how the hell you got here. You know what I mean? But thank you. So people, speaking of Ed, check out the DC TV report. He does it for you every week. He gets together with Sarah Netzley, freelance writer for EW.com. That's known as
Wow.
Entertainment Weekly. You know,
Wow, that's a pretty serious show.
that's
over
I
there.
think that's a serious show over there. Well, I mean, I don't know about Ed, but Sarah.
Yeah.
But Sarah.
Oh, Sarah's legit.
Sarah's the
Yeah.
golden child.
Yeah.
She can do no wrong. As far as I'm
Noopsie,
concerned.
sweet brother Noopsie.
But we love Ed, and we know Ed we believe Ed
So
to be a
fucking
very
random right
professional
now.
guy.
Golden Child. That's the villain is Numpsy.
Is
It was lost on
Goodman
me.
in
I
that?
take it back. It was lost on me.
Goodman was not in that.
All
no.
right, then.
But yeah, so and they're reviewing and recapping all the DC TV shows. Big shakeups this week, a lot of finales, and crazy stuff happened over there. From what I understand, they're a little divided on the whole Arrow show. Some people are falling out of love. Some people are falling back in love. That's where I'm going to leave that. And then I think what we could do is we could talk about the fact that number one, me and Bob were down in Florida.
Yeah,
That's where
stuck
we
in
were.
Florida.
And
Yeah, we got stuck there.
we got a little holdover a little bit. It's not the craziest of stories, but I don't want to detract from too much here. And we were a little light on the after show, so I think we're going to just kind of hold off maybe some of the regaling of our shenanigans for that stuff until then.
To be fair,
Yeah.
it was a little fucking crazy up here.
Well, I mean, maybe you have a tales. I think you probably have some
A little one, you know what I
tiny
mean?
thing. Yeah. You can
Storms-
back up the legend, the rumor has. Yeah, okay, I got
Well, I
you.
was driving in it, because
Right.
I had things to do.
Well, everybody's got to have a fucking hobby.
All
So what I'm trying to do right now is actually find my buddy Uncle Jay on the old fucking internets.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Twitters?
Yeah,
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, because fucking maybe I think fucking some audio leaked this while we were away.
I can drop that for you.
That why don't you maybe set that up and I can
set-
play it and I can play some for the kids.
Oh, what are you guys talking about? Jay?
Oh well,
Well, this is a little bit of a
I'll
leak.
pause it.
Yeah, pause it
Yeah,
real
I'm gonna
quick.
pause it right there. A little music intro.
So back in February, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Frankie Mogwai came around and he started infiltrating other people's podcasts? I mean, he's been doing it to Gotham Lights for years, right?
Right.
Well, not years, months.
It's more than weeks. That's a good thing.
He fucked Steph up, you know what I mean, with that audio problem she had on Halloween.
Yeah, well, he's a gremlin,
Right.
And that's besides being cute and fuzzy like Gizmo. That's what they're known for doing.
And he sent in an apology, right? And then
Of sorts.
Then he sent a Christmas message, I think. He
Yeah.
even started throwing you and me under the bus after a little while.
He's really come out of the woodwork.
And so
Yeah, this guy Frankie Mogwai, he likes to curse a lot, huh?
So yeah, a lot of times, and the thing is that he kind of sounds like me a little bit. I get that. I understand it.
There is a little bit of that
It's a
going
nice.
on.
So-
It's an homage.
Well, to basically stop the fucking confusion, he and I sat down.
Right.
and we
Yeah,
had
I
it-
heard now. There's a lot of stuff with this situation, though. I mean, I'm surprised that this much came out. I mean, you can fill everybody in a little bit, but
Well, he's not happy about it. First of all,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you want to approach it. Is what
Well,
I'm saying.
I'll approach it like this. I'll just keep it simple.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We sat down to try to clear the air a little bit. You know what I mean? Just to basically tell everybody we're not the same person.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Maybe we can be a little truce. Maybe
Yeah.
there'll be a little, mutual common ground of
Sure.
kindness. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And we did have that a little bit.
Okay.
But for the most part, it was he and I yelling at each other for 4 hours. You know
I
what
can
mean?
see how that could happen. When,
So when it was done,
And
when two guys like you.
he signed no release. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He doesn't want it to see the light of day. So
Right.
being the wise ass that I am, I gave people 61 seconds that they can now watch as a little bit of a video that I created.
Sure.
That basically throws him under the bus a little bit, but basically all it was his version of what Gremlins 3 should be. So you may want to hit play.
All right. So,
Okay.
shoot, I was almost going to say it's a Wicked Theory exclusive, but it's not. It's not. The backstory on it, I guess. All right. Let's see what this is.
All right. So
Oh, I fucked it up already, Jay.
that's because you don't know how to use these coming out.
Yeah. Well, I'm new to this technology.
All right, so Frankie, at least tell me when Gremlins 3 is coming out. Everybody wants to know, when is Gremlins 3 coming out, all right? It's been fucking 28 years since Gremlins 2. That was 1990. It's 28 years later. We still haven't seen a Gremlins 3.
I'm still fucking perturbed with that fucking last question.
Well, you know what? If you didn't want to answer, I mean, I would like you to answer the question. I would like you to
I don't
answer.
gotta be here. I don't gotta fucking be here, Uncle Jay. I
You
got
see,
other things
this
I
is
can
why I didn't wanna
do.
fucking do
I can
this.
snap my fingers and I can be in fucking Canada or Honduras. Or fucking Turkey. You ever been to fucking Turkey?
Frankie.
A lot of fucking bullshit over in
Frankie.
fucking Turkey.
Frankie.
Ooh, you ever see Midnight Express? It's exactly the same shit.
Jesus.
The same shit
Frankie,
that happens
fuck
in that
you.
fucking movie happens in fucking Turkey.
Fuck you.
Exactly the same shit. I think that they should remake Midnight Express and call it Gremlins 3.
This guy's
Frank,
insane.
you fucking fuzzy degenerate prick.
Good.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice. No.
Okay.
I would have fucking turned on him too, right about there.
it was,
Yeah.
Losing control. that
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
makes no sense sometimes
and that's tame.
compared to the other material.
It gets really out of fucking hand.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
So on both of our ends, I lost
Yeah.
it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Sounds
mean?
like it was
I
heading
can.
there. I could see why. We would definitely. It was about to get pretty nasty.
But you know something, Bill?
Yeah.
You know, spoiler alert here.
Yeah.
We also shared a few laughs together too.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It got a little friendly. You know what I mean?
See, that's trouble.
And there was a lot of booze, a lot of barbiturates maybe. But like I said, it was a lot of
you
fun.
can't be associating with a guy like that. A guy like that is out of control, Jay. And we don't need you. I don't want to say reverting to the old days, but there are legends.
Right.
And I don't think a guy like that's good for you staying on the straight and narrow these days.
Well, if you want to call it that, yeah.
Some nights, it's a little wobbly. The lines gets a little couple bends in it.
Right. Well, if I don't like something, I just take an extra swig. You know what I mean? That's how that works.
I think it's called drowning the sorrows.
Not really.
It
It's just,
sounded like it. If I don't like something, I take another swig.
it also could be alcoholism too. It's
I think it's
early
all.
stages.
I think it's all the same. I think it's all a blend.
So yeah, if you guys want to look at that video,
Yeah,
check it out.
I think there's a tiny bit more there.
Yeah,
And,
we'll let them have that.
let them have it. People go to find Uncle Jay on Twitter at Uncle Jay's thing, and you can find the clip there. It's a recent tweet from him.
And believe me, if you reach out to Frankie Mogwai, he will respond.
Well,
and-
that's why I don't think people realize is that Frankie Mogwai's got a Twitter account,
yes, he does.
and it's at Frankie Mogwai.
I
think
don't like
so,
to
right?
plug him, but yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't. We probably shouldn't. It's probably not safe.
No.
It's probably not a safe thing to do, people.
We don't want to be seen as promoting.
The last thing you
kind
want
of
to do, people, is go to Twitter, find Frankie Mogwai, and friend him. That's the last thing.
Right.
Right.
Because he'll take
Can you hear me winking?
Yeah.
Last thing. Okay. So that was cool. That was fun. I loved it. It's true. But we got people in the chat room, and I think they might be waiting to play a game.
So I'll play Ed O'Hare here for you.
You're gonna pull the old. All right.
So we got you and me, right?
Yeah.
In the chat.
Yeah.
Do you have an Excel chart ready? I mean,
No.
Then you can't be Ed.
If this isn't already,
Believe me, we're like night and day. I can't even begin to fucking disguise
let's get
myself
this
as that
in the
guy.
J style. What's the situation?
So
here,
we
buddy?
got Benny, right? We got Benny Livewire, right? Good
Ooh.
man. Good times. You know what I mean?
You like that? That's a live wire.
You are a real live wire. So we got Sacco Jones Olympics extraordinaire, Mr. John Zombie John Thompson.
Hey-o.
And he only won because he had less liquor than I did. But
So
that's
that might be
another thing.
cheating, especially for that shop.
And we got forever our biggest fan, Wesley.
Wesley.
Ryan
Wesley.
Gaskins.
Wesley.
And we got some jagaloon named Agent Palmer hanging around. I think he produces our show or something like that.
He's helpful Harry.
Yeah.
Harry Palmer.
Resident Jabroni.
Yeah, that's fine, I guess. But
The Voyage Palmer.
the voyage home.
The Voyage Palmer.
So I'm just now. I can't shut off my brain.
So
my brain
Bill-
wants to take that for 20 minutes and just do.
So,
riffs.
Bill, keep it under 90 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for bringing me back. All right, so let's give him a chat room game. How about
Here, you take over this.
All right. I don't know where this came from. This was during the week. Somehow me and Bobby came up with this. We'll just let it lie. Office Place Survivor games. Like, you remember the show Survivor?
Yeah.
All I got is a Lava Java Challenge. So this one might have started with Lava Java Challenge, and then we had to figure out what the setup was.
You're a sick fuck, because didn't the volcano explode in Hawaii or some shit? And...
Ooh, didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess so. If you were running an office
Yeah.
in Hawaii, you could have done that. I was just thinking something like in my head. It was just like you
People
just
in
kind of.
Hawaii having a cup of coffee. Watching
No,
the
like there's no
volcano
coffee
explode?
pot. There's no coffee pot. So you gotta see how much hot coffee out of the machine, straight out of the machine into your hands. How long you can hold your hands there?
Right,
Maybe that's it. I don't
Right.
know.
Then you hold the coffee until
Yeah.
you got the creamer and the
Yeah.
sugar in there, and
I'm sure these people can come up with stuff, right? Like something with the staplers or the office chairs. Just all we need is a name for these challenges, these stupid challenges. I
You
don't
know, the hipster douchebags now, they got the fucking Keurig, so that doesn't count because that shit's like lukewarm.
It's just like, I don't know why it's like a thing where it's like, oh, if I want it strong, it's like you're telling me like I'm not getting it full strength as it is. Like, what's the point of this? Like, I don't know.
You just get the freeze-dried Taster's Choice, and you drink it the beans right out of the fucking thing. That's
And
the
in a
strongest
world
coffee
where
in
it's
the
all
world.
about just like recycle, like I just feel like I'm just throwing out so much plastic. Like we had one at my job, and we were giving it a shot for a while, and it just seemed like if we're gonna do coffee, like I feel fine throwing out grinds wrapped in a fucking wet piece of paper.
Filter.
The filter. You know? This hunk of plastic feels like 700 years from now, someone's gonna
Like
dig up a fucking
used coffee filter discus toss.
There you go. Bob's bringing it back. There you go, kids. That's the other example.
Mr. Coffee.
Coffee grain counting. I don't know.
No, like I believe
No,
one of the things I think we were thinking of would have been like, how long can you hold down that sandwich that's been in the back of the refrigerator?
The mystery food type thing.
The mystery food hold down like contest.
Yeah, you just everybody takes one bite and sees how long they can keep it from puking.
I think we were thinking like based on like worst case scenario things, but like at work.
Right.
Like you
right.
know.
All right. So anyway, kids, take it wherever you take it. That's what you do, and you do it well.
Toner Olympics, sir. So.
Start her off.
I think next up is the news, but I'm just gonna jump right to the sound effect. You know this one. Well, first thing on the news I should really say is that like we got a guest tonight in a little while. Yeah, it's an unusual thing.
Why don't you tell me this shit earlier?
Really?
Yeah.
A guest?
Mumm-Ra's gonna pop up.
Who?
Mumm-Ra.
I didn't shower.
From the Thundercats.
The ever living. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just Mumm-Ra.
Yeah. But
All
we'll that's a tee up for the end of the news. So Jay's got a thing in here that people are joining it.
Well, we were all big fans of it, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was an excellent movie.
It was.
So we had James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain, and Bill Hader all signed on to play
Right.
3 of the kids. Well, 2 more
Right.
just signed on to play Stanley and Eddie. That was the sick kid.
Excelsior.
And-
That's Stanley?
Yeah, but that's Stanley, yes.
Okay. But, okay.
So Stanley was the really scared kid who
The most
with the
scared.
the most scared. Yeah, the most scared.
Yeah, the Jewish kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eddie was the sick kid.
Gotcha. Right.
So there's a guy named
Eddie
James.
Spaghetti.
Right. Exactly, Eddie Spaghetti.
Hey, spaghetti.
Yeah. All right.
Eddie Spaghetti, how you doing?
So there's a guy named James Ransom. He's a character actor that's been around for a while. There was a couple of horror films called Sinister and Sinister 2. Do you remember those?
I remember the names. Yeah.
He's
I didn't see him. But I
He's the
remember
recurring character in both of those.
Right.
And
What's
he's
his name?
also known for The Wire.
Oh, okay.
He's on a
Okay.
show called The Wire.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen this actor, you know that it's perfect fucking. They really are like
Nailing it, right?
nailing it down.
What's his name
to
again?
James Ransom.
James Ransom.
And the other actor, I don't know too much. His name is Andy Bean. See, the word bean's been coming up a lot on the show today. Coffee beans, Andy Bean,
A lot of beans.
Mr.
A lot of
Beans.
Lima beans. So these two guys, if you take a look at them, they really are nailing the characteristics and the look of these kids. Mm-hmm. So they're really doing this right. So there's that. They still got a couple more roles to fill.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, look at this guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bag of
Well,
bones.
what's his name is coming back as Pennywise, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I will say that this guy
Absolutely.
is 90% neck. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, so was that kid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I think you're right.
So in some of the exciting news here.
Yeah.
So Marvel Studios now. Big
Exciting
screen.
news report.
Big screen Phase 4. We're getting an Eternals movie.
That's the
Green lit and writing.
And if you thought making it in humans work was going to be hard, oof.
However, Marvel Studios is behind this.
Marvel Studios behind it, and I think there's a little bit more of a clean slate kind of thing, maybe to work with Eternals. I don't think they've really pushed them too hard in the comics. I mean, I think there's some appearances here or there, like to be kind of like nostalgic in certain people's runs, but it's not like, oh, how they were pushing Inhumans in the comics and in like anything else for a while.
Well,
trying to make them work. Like,
it was they were big. It was big. I think it was at its peak at
Yeah.
the time it was released, and that was
Yeah.
like the late 70s.
Yeah, but this is more Kirby shit.
Yeah,
This is more Kirby shit.
but
Yeah.
So it gets out there.
Marvel Studios is behind this.
Is that what?
Again,
that's
you
the
know what I
only
mean?
thing you
Right.
could-
You can throw 150 mil at it. You're going to see $1 billion back.
And that's not even being a Marvel fanboy. It's just like the law of averages. Like, I mean, if anything's going to be a challenge for them to pull off, it will be this, I think, a little bit. But, I mean, the key for them is just finding where's the personality in it. Because that seems to be their one of the big keys for their success, I think, is saying, where is the personality? What is, like you know, that thing.
In a sense, though, Guardians, Ant-Man, and Doctor Strange, and also
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
These are the films that they were nervous about,
Yeah.
and gold
Yeah.
out the gate.
But you got to remember, I mean, that's all fair and true. But I think
Yeah.
it's only just being honest to say, like, you know, it's Eternals. It's a thing where, like, you know, this is stuff that is, you know, it's Jack Kirby at some of his densest in a way, where it's a little bit of like, you know, it's a whole other race. It's a whole other kind of like, much like how the Inhumans are supposed to be like this whole other kind of species of people,
Yeah.
but not quite aliens. They're like human, like offshoots, a whole other planet. It's like all that kind of shit, and you know, it gets a little, and they're all tied to the cosmic stuff. Like, I wonder if that's kind of like their angle with it, is saying,
Right.
let's get deep on the cosmic and like really meet Celestials and
Right.
those world maker types. You know what I mean? Then hey, like that's going cosmic as fuck. But unless they take like use that kind of trope of taking a regular person from like, hey, like what's our in? Is it about saying like, let's take a human who fucking ends up with them, or like
Stanley.
the ghost of Stanley?
No, because Stanley has already been hanging out with the Watchers.
Right, but we can't make a movie about Stan Lee running around as the main character, is what I'm saying. Like, you know?
But Bill, actually, you know as well as I that they're probably going to take some of these people now
Yeah.
and cross it in.
Well, that's
and,
the other, right.
You know what I mean? And also director.
Let us peek at them a little bit so they build up their own kind of fan base or of interest in a way where it's like, oh, maybe we'll see them pop up, and it's like, who are those guys? So there's a little bit of pre-established nature to it.
Well, there's the writing duo is Matthew and Ryan Firpo, who wrote The Blacklist.
Right.
So that's a pretty decent show
Yeah.
from what I hear. I never watched it. But all I know is that if this is Marvel Studios behind it, I
Yeah.
am sure we're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I got more faith in them doing it, you know,
Right.
than anybody else.
Like Guardians was the only one that I
Yeah.
kind of said, well, all right, let's see if they can do it. But after that, when we got Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, I wasn't
Yeah.
the least bit.
But here's the thing, though,
worried
like,
about it.
you know, I've never really worried too much about, you know, any of their movies. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I say with this is a thing that's actually is very different. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, oh, Guardians is the most different thing ever. I'm like, I don't think so in a way, because it's like, it uses a lot of familiar things. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's space, but we have our easy in with a guy who's from Earth, you know what I mean? And we have a cast of characters, like, who are very relatable, like, you know, and I think that's the thing. I feel like Inhumans, when they stay true to it, is the problem for Inhumans in comics altogether, is that it just feels cold and unrelatable, and I hope that Eternals has this other heart or personality,
Yeah.
or, you know what I mean, or there's some kind of other angle to it, and I think that's probably what they're keying into. It's like, okay, we're gonna do Inhumans like right, like, you know what I mean, Inhumans is tainted now, so what else can we kind of pick that's like that,
Right.
like kind of what we wanted to do, and I think this is probably their angle, and it's like you said, like, have all the faith in the world for them, and I think maybe that's what they're gonna try and do. Now that I'm thinking it through, like, this is gonna be like, how do we do Inhumans right? Maybe I'm not so like brooding in a way.
If Marvel Studios did Inhumans, it wouldn't have been
No.
what it was.
No, absolutely not.
And Thor, I think, was probably the entry into Guardians.
Sure.
Because that dealt with space in another time. And,
Sort of building that out.
So I think it was an easy transition into Guardians through Thor.
Yeah, and that's all the Marvel Universe is doing now too. It's like it's getting more cosmic as it's going. You know what I mean?
Good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's like they're expanding it so far into that
The cosmos,
kind of
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I
You
can't
know.
wait for how they're gonna do Galactus.
Yeah, once that's kind of back in play.
Yeah, how do you,
you know?
how do you do that scale?
You know what I mean? Oof. Well, you kind of got a peek at it, when you saw Celestial. But then again, he was on a planet. Then again, most planets are so much bigger than Earth. We kind of forget that. Like, so,
Right.
Well,
But anyway.
from what I'm saying is, if I heard this was going to be a Netflix show, I might be a little more skeptical of it.
Yeah.
It's Marvel Studios. I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right. No, I totally agree, Chief. All right, so let's. What do we got next? So this week there was some scuttlebutt about an Obi Wan movie finally happening.
Yeah.
And when I went to go look it up, do a little more digging, a new article had popped up that was like, don't get too excited too fast, because the original report came out of TMZ, who had had like an inside track on something, but eagle-eye internet people had pointed out that it seems like a verbatim lift almost from a description of an Obi-Wan story. So the question is, was the leak a true leak, or is, something from this story the starting point for the actual movie?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's my takeaway from it. I think people are skeptical because it came out of TMZ, and it's not really like too fast of a rumor thing. But
right. Maybe it's just so early that they've thrown it all together and are saying okay.
Yeah.
But they've taken this idea just as a tag
Right.
on to the thing and said, look, this is what we're working with
right
now.
Right. So the link
You
that
know
I
what I mean?
have for the article was they're just kind of quick to point out that oh no, the internet's figured it out. It's not. And my takeaway from reading that was, well, maybe, because they do tend to lift some of these outlines from stuff, in the stories. So if these two lines that they're comparing here on io9.com, they don't really match up perfect. It's not a complete lift. So I would say that if you took the gist of the story and you mentioned that in conversation, it's going to end up described as that. So, you know what I mean? It's like I had to fucking do some, you guys can't figure this out?
Well, the
So
only thing...
just take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. I mean, the Obi Wan movie happening is probably going to happen, but this rumoring that came out may not be a bit of strong this last week.
Well, a lot of people want that.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
best-
Crazy.
I actually read the TMZ article,
Right.
and what I actually read was that it was connected to a Twitter account.
Right.
What happened was when earlier, like months or last year, something was mentioned. Another rumor was tied to a similar account, which was then immediately closed.
Right.
And this was that name and then an add-on.
Right.
So it was being presumed that it was the same person who had this accurate account last time, now coming with something else.
Right.
Right. But I'm also getting the impression, from what I remember, that this account was also closed.
Yeah, so it's probably a load of shit.
So, but either way, it just seems inevitable that an Obi-Wan movie is going to get made. It's just about giving a little heads up that maybe it's not done deals just yet.
And truthfully, the one thing I can say about an Obi-Wan movie is they can
That
do
you would be there.
anything. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Because who's to say he was there that whole fucking time?
Yeah, I mean, come on. At this point now, it seems like he was lying about a lot of shit. In retrospect, when it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah, and that reminds me, the story that was tagged to this seemed really thin.
Yeah. They IO9 seems to be having a little bit of a glee and being like nana, but it's also very terse, the article they have, because it's a rundown in a like a buzz kind of wrap up article.
Right.
So it's like bullet points kind of pieces. But other than that, Cobra Kai 2 season 2 is a go. So if,
Of course it is.
of course it is.
Yeah.
I didn't finish watching it myself, but now Bob because you did.
Yeah, I
finish,
did finish it.
And Jay finished. Jay's just gleaming.
You like that last scene?
Loved it.
All right.
He doesn't know, right?
I don't know.
No, I
don't
haven't
know.
said anything.
Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for others just
Yeah.
yet. But I do have to catch up on it. I have been meaning. And I heard from other people who actually were like, "Yo, Cobra Kai yet? Did you watch it? Finish it?" And I'm like, "No, not yet."
What'd you think? Now that you finished it.
I thought it was overall it was excellent. Because they maintained the balance we talked about when you finished it. They maintained that balance of between the two characters, everybody really doesn't do too much, too bad, but not too good. When they do too bad, there's some good that comes out of it. When they do a little too bad, there's some good. There's some bad that comes out of it.
It's this yin and yang,
Yeah,
constantly
swinging back and forth.
Right.
Interesting.
You know?
Interesting. Very interesting.
I actually think they're going to end up working together at some point.
Yeah, that's probably like a natural progression for it.
It's
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. When you see the end of the season, you'll be like,
okay,
you'll be like,
okay.
maybe that will happen.
Right.
Because
They seem to tee up something.
well, yeah, well,
Without
the shit's about to
elaborating.
hit the fan.
Okay.
The shit actually just hit the fan, and
Fair
now
enough.
and now we're gonna see where it splatters and who gets up.
There you go. Okay, because that's a good setup for any season 2.
Yeah.
I like it though.
Like when I saw what you're talking
Right.
about, I was like,
I feel like we gotta move on because you guys are just
All right,
so
never
in,
mind.
smiling like in a circle of
am
knowledge.
I wrong in that analogy at all, Jay?
I basically when it was done, when it was all
Yeah.
said and done, I just got up. I went fucking A.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
This is
Wow.
fucking the best show on TV right
The
now.
ghost of Miyagi. That's all I'm gonna guess. That's my guess. That's my guess. That's my
You're
guess.
not too far.
I'm not too far. I got you. All right. All right, bonsai trees. I'm going to go with bonsai trees.
Well, that's
Yeah.
brilliant in itself. You get a free bonsai
I mean,
tree.
come on. That's when they had me. On the trailer, it was like, and you get a free bonsai tree. I'm like, all right, I'll forgive the kicking of the prices from left to right.
You know what? LaRusso Luxury Motors is going to be my new back.
You know when they really, had me? This is so Bill. This is so anal. When I saw the LaRusso Motors logo, it felt right. I was like, "That's the perfect font." Of course,
Because I think it's well, no, I would be giving something away.
But all right, let's.
Don't tell him the big thing that happens. But okay.
All right, because Bob's got a thing in here.
All right.
He's got some music came out this week. A couple guys got together.
Yeah,
Corey Glover.
Of In Living Color.
Yeah, Evan Living Color, the singer for Living Color, and Mr. Lynch himself, George Lynch,
Of Dokken.
got together and they formed a band called Ultraphonix.
Ultraphonics.
They have a single released on YouTube. It's fucking awesome.
So
I think it's everything that you like in like hard rock and modern metal, but not. Well, I guess maybe not too modern.
no, I really, you know what's funny is like
it feels like George Lynch, and it feels like he's just.
it's
like
got a
updated
thrashy
and
chug
stuff.
to it,
Yeah.
but the lyric approach isn't too caught up in the old stuff.
Well, it's definitely Corey's idea.
That's
because
the
it's
thing.
definitely.
It's definitely Corey.
It's definitely Corey. 'Cause I
With
mean,
the lyrics
the
alone.
lyrics are very political.
yeah.
But
timely,
and
all that shit.
timely.
Yeah.
But the song is called "Walk, Run, Crawl."
Right.
Right.
So we're gonna play it during the break.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm not gonna play it during the show. I don't want to
that's
get hit
cool
with a
idea.
thing on.
that's about like
the
a
YouTube
5.5
shit.
minute song.
Yeah, it'll make a good break song.
Yeah,
And people will
it's
check it out in a little bit.
Definitely worth checking out.
So their band now is Ultraphonix, Phonix, is how
Yeah.
they spell the phonics.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other thing I want to talk about is Bobby Gustafson.
Wow.
You know him, right? From
Overkill.
Overkill, right? Wrote, even though they're all credited on it, basically he wrote one of the top 10 thrash albums of all time, right? Yeah, Years of Decay. Anyway, he's got a new band now called Satan's Taint.
Nice. Satan.
Right? And it's fucking Bobby all over the place. It's definitely modern metal that Bobby is writing, and you got to check it out. I'm actually picking up the CD. I don't do that. You know what I mean?
That's not your MO?
Not my MO. And just talking about it now is a reminder for me to go buy it. I'm going to go buy it as soon as we get done here. I'm going to get that and probably a shirt on his website. Just check him out on YouTube, Satan's Taint. They got a couple of songs up there, and there's links to check out the website where you can get the shit. Check out Bobby Gustafson on Facebook.
There you go. So
Right, 'cause
if you're not sure how to
he's on
spell
there.
it, if you're not sure how to spell it, it's
Yeah.
Gustavson.
Right.
All right.
That's good news because music sucks today, man.
It does. It really does. And we're getting to a point where metal and guitar music in general is going to be dying if we don't keep it alive. You know what I mean? And you got to think Bobby's a guy, he's 50. He's coming out with shit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to keep
Yeah.
guys. We need to get people more interested in playing guitar.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true too.
You know
Yeah,
what I
no?
mean? That's
Yeah.
what drives it. That's actually the more important thing.
You know, it's
You know what I
exposure
mean?
to young kids, so
Right.
they want to play.
Right. We need to
Yeah.
keep. This is gonna sound weird. On that note, real quick, we need to keep Taylor Swift playing guitar and not doing hip hop.
Fair enough.
Songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit like that.
Anybody who's playing an instrument, really,
Yeah.
because then you can find your new influences later.
We
but
need-
like whatever gets you in the door.
Right. We need guitar players who are out there, who are younger, to really step up in their creative use of their skills,
Right.
so that we can impress people when they're playing. Because it's not enough to have those skills, and you got to show it off a little bit. I mean, because that's what makes people want to play.
Right.
You know,
right.
dude,
right.
he could do that. I can do that. I want to know how he did that.
Right.
And then they go out and buy a guitar and start taking fucking lessons. That's just how it works. So, you know, if you're a guitar player, you got to be a proponent of the instrument, and you got to start really stepping up your game a little bit and putting that out there. Anyway,
It's true.
that's that. Check out Bobby Gustafson. Check out Satan's Taint. Check out Ultraphonix. Also, if you're at all into metal and good metal,
Well,
this is good shit. Check it out.
Bring rock and metal back.
back.
Right. And, listen during the break, because that Ultraphonic song, I wasn't a huge fan of
Corey.
Corey,
Right. Living Color.
but this is just good shit. Really good shit.
I'll make a quick recommendation for these people if they're going to check out everything that Bob just said. There's a track from Dokken called Mr. Scary. Mr. Scary is basically George Lynch. It's instrumental.
Okay.
It just shows you how good he is.
Right.
And Corey Glover did a solo album in the late 90s.
Right.
I don't remember the name of it, but the track was called Do You First, Then Do Myself.
Yeah.
And I remember the video was him in a straitjacket yelling and screaming. Good fucking track. Check that out.
All right. So
Prep yourself.
So, that leads us to John Favreau. While we were away, announced
Oh, what
that
do you do?
that
Yeah, good news.
his Star Wars series
Uh-huh.
is going to take place 7 years after Return of the Jedi,
Hallelujah.
Right.
and it's going to be. It seems like it's going to kind of be its own thing
Yeah.
for the most part.
It's another story.
But he nailed down the time period. I thought I linked the article in here. Shit, because the article actually broke down like in relation to the other movies, because it's like a 30-year gap overall. Like, you know what I mean? It's 23 years before the next movie. You know what I mean? 7 years after Return of the Jedi. So it's a 30. You know, it's
It's like
it's in that 30-year gap.
30-year
It's-
gap.
you know what I mean? So,
Good.
and but that's it. That's all we. That's all we know. You
That's
know
all
what I
he's
mean?
saying.
But we like it.
Well, fans are happy with that because they like, shit around that time frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Force Awakens is 30 fucking years later. It's
Yeah.
a whole lot of story
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just don't fucking know.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And
you
he's
know?
going to show it to you.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that. I mean, I think it's still a pretty ways off, and I think that might be on a pay service when it comes out.
It's all right. We got a couple of Star Wars movies to suck on in the meantime,
sure.
right?
Got Solo next
Got
week.
next week, Chief. I'll be there.
You gonna
Yeah.
be? You gonna go?
Yeah, thinking about it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were gonna end up there.
I got a special scotch for the occasion.
All right, so
Disney's really draining fucking wallets this summer, man.
yeah.
Yeah, but
They
at
really
least
are.
at least the quality is there again. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we lost a lot of.
There was a period.
There's a period where everybody was just skeptical of everything. And
Of,
then,
like remember the old days when like no one took any of it seriously at all.
Yeah.
Any of the genre stuff. It was all a joke. Like, but
Now
now
it runs Hollywood.
Now it runs Hollywood. Like the same kids who were raised on it now make it.
right.
So it's like,
And people have been reading it and wanting it forever.
and that was always gonna, you know what I mean? That was always gonna be the trajectory of movies. Like, remember when people were like in the '90s when people were like, "Oh, there's just too much CG all over the place." Like, "Oh man, these computer graphics everywhere. Like, it's a shortcut." Like, oh, and now you can't fucking escape it. Like, if you wanted to, like, it's in every movie. Like the most simple and mundane movies. Like, you don't even know that they're CGing out. Like, what's his name's testicle from that one scene. That movie that came out with that gay. It was the big deal last year. They're wearing fucking short shorts. He's wearing those white tennis shorts. I forget. Skarsgård's in it.
Yeah.
Know me by my name.
Yeah.
Call me
Call me by
your
your
name or whatever it is.
me by your
Supposedly, like there's a shot because he's wearing those short shorts, so like his ball is hanging out.
Yeah.
They had to CG it out. I was like, no, I can relate. I saw a scene with you wearing a pair of those short shorts.
Oh
those
no,
70s,
ask Ed.
80s.
He's the only one that saw it
That's
here.
true,
Probably
too.
the only one that will ever see it.
Well, that's kind of true and fair.
It's probably been gifted to Skarsgård.
Yeah. So
We got a special cut for you.
yeah. So if I'm checking the clock, we've stalled long enough. I think we have a call-in guest.
Oh,
And this is So
Seriously?
So this is gonna take a little bit of setup, so this week, the internet almost split in half over this Thundercats.
Yes.
Thundercats Roar is.
they didn't see the picture until after they read the article, right?
I don't know. So basically what's going on is that Cartoon Network is bringing back a version of Thundercats that as you know here, we're big fans of, but hold on a second. I'm doing a little bit of technical stuff on the side here. I gotta pull this out. Thank you. It's a pretty stark reboot. I think there's a little bit of nostalgia shock for people. You know what I mean? It's got a lot of how would you say, like, redesign. Like, it's quite different. It's got a very Steven's Universe kind of look to it. I don't know if you're familiar with that show.
Yeah, I remember.
But everyone's got a very kind of loosey anime cherub kind of look to them.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, and so they kind of released this very short version of the new opening. It's a thing where, like, it's very fast. It kind of plays homage to the original. And it's a thing where, like, everybody's freaking out. So, like, there's a lot of people who were feeling that. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to find. There it is. Okay. Yeah. So if you're looking at it now, but people are up in arms about it. So, it came down to we know a guy. I think we could get a scoop.
Well, you know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You just told us this, like,
Yeah. But now
Yeah.
here's the problem, because like now, I don't know if it's my nerves, or if it's like the whole box of sushi I had earlier.
Do you have to shit?
Yeah, I got to shit.
Oh, seriously?
You're so clunky. You're so clunky. Yeah. I'm not feeling too hot. So I think you guys are gonna have to take this.
You suck.
And but Mumm-Ra is calling in like any minute, and I think if I go in now, I'll probably be all right with it. You know what I mean? And I'll be able to get through.
So Bob and I got to work now.
Yeah. So you and Bob got to work.
Yeah, so
now.
we got to do this.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't even know what to say, because I thought it was gonna pass. Like when I started the show and I was reading, like, that's why, like, I didn't mention it right away. I kind of was like getting all worked up about it. You know how I get with guests. So
I know you get with sushi.
I think if I go now, I'll probably be able to dodge it. You know what I mean? And come back. So you guys, I'm gonna leave you guys in charge.
All right.
And just kind of do what you got to do. Just run the show. But I think what I could do is run the music in the background, and that's probably gonna, like, help make it happen. That's because that's the music.
All right,
I'm just gonna go
I'll
now.
do what I gotta do.
I'm just gonna go now. And,
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, go ahead.
The fucking Billy's calling, man.
Well, just answer.
All right. Hello?
Hello. Is this
Hello?
is this Mumm-Ra? Are you there?
Yes, it's phone working.
What do I call you? Do I call you Mumm-Ra, Mr. Ra, Mr. Mumm-Ra? What do you like to be called?
The ever-living.
It's Mumm-Ra, the ever-living.
All right, listen, we're live on the Wicked Theory podcast here, and so I have a couple questions for you.
Yes,
All right, you ready?
yes, go
All
ahead.
right. So tell me, how do you feel about this new fucking Thundercats Roar that's coming out?
Oh, I like it. Actually, I'm excited for it.
Are you serious? Why?
Well, because everyone hates it. I'm evil. So I enjoy the suffering of others.
This guy's out of control,
Especially grown men who are overly attached to their own childhood.
Take this next one.
Okay. Well, all right. Mumm-Ra, were you even contacted by anyone from the new show?
No, but in all fairness, I have Metro PCS.
But
So the cellular reception here is spotty at best.
But wait, you're on a cell phone right now, aren't you?
Mm.
He's right out of the bathroom. Is it coming over that?
Yeah.
It's coming out of the microphone? Oh, that's got solid shit. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Monkey Man.
You got by Monkey Man.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Listen,
No problem. So, but you are on a cell phone right now, aren't you?
Well, yes, that's what it was. I just had to send Monkey Man up to the top of the Black Pyramid. He's going with a wire coat hanger and a robo barbell to help the signal.
now listen. Have you actually seen this preview, or you? I mean, did you see how you were drawn on this thing?
No, I haven't seen it yet. We canceled the internet and cable after Jackerman was caught giggling himself.
You mean Googling himself,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, Google.
Yes, whatever. I try to run a judgment-free circle of evil. But, you just can't be doing that around the house. It sounds disgusting.
Okay. Well, well, you should know the new style for the show really seems kind of kiddie.
So I've heard. Like I said, it's a brilliantly evil decision.
Right. But so you're okay with them even using or tarnishing your likenesses?
Listen, I am several thousand years old. I have more tarnish than all the Kardashians combined.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
so no paycheck for you then?
Paycheck? What do you mean paycheck?
Well, they're using your likeness. You know that, right? You should probably be getting paid for something like this.
I have to go. I need to call my manager before Monkey Man falls off the pyramid.
Well, before you go, is there anything you want to plug?
Oh, yes. I've been doing some open mic nights. If you're ever by the treasure ruins, you can find me at the Ha Ha Hut on most Tuesdays.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for being on the show, Mumm-Ra. I hope you kill him at your show tonight.
Tuesdays.
I'm sorry, Tuesdays. Correct.
Yes, Tuesdays. I'll give you a little something on the way out. The kids love when I do this.
Well, thanks for being
Oh,
here.
wait,
man.
he's going to do something for us.
Wait, what did he say?
Spirits of evil. Through the decade show to something that's much better. Okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
thanks.
much.
Thanks, Mumm-Ra.
I'll sleep better now. Thank you.
Love you long time.
Love you.
Bye, Mumm-Ra.
Did I miss him?
Of course you fucking.
Yeah, of course you missed him. You just missed him, dude.
Oh my God.
You had to wipe if you just wiped a little bit faster.
So how did the audio turn out?
It's like shit, you know.
Yeah, do you think it was a hot mess? I bet you it was.
Well, we could hear it through our phones.
Oh, all right.
Bill, I'm willing to bet that he was probably like where I was at Chiller Theater.
Okay.
Because that's exactly sounded like the same guy. Like, if I didn't know any better, it was probably me.
I think it sounds like a guy who smokes a lot. You know.
You think maybe it was Frankie Mogwai pulling a fast one?
Man, I can't believe I had to run out of the bathroom with my pants around my ankles too, because I was so nervous about the technical issues.
Yeah, I know.
I shouldn't have done that. You guys didn't see my ass, did
No,
you?
we're really glad you didn't squirt on the way there.
Well, I think I squirted by the time I got back, though.
Well,
but how did it go? What do you think? Did it go all right? I mean, I'll hear it back in the mix, but you know.
Yeah, he was kind of in a mixed mood.
I don't think he knows what.
I don't
think he knows what's going on?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think he knows what's going on with the show.
He's not in a loop. He's
don't
probably
think
not in a
so,
loop.
no.
A guy like that. He's old.
No, I'm sure he's got to be getting a little tight on the cash, though. I mean, you can only get Social Security for so long before they get suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, did you find out if maybe he's getting residuals or something from this? Or is that like...
I don't think he knew about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he didn't know anything.
Oh, no.
He seemed pretty clueless. He said something about going to see his manager.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So good. You guys probably helped him out.
Well, hopefully.
We tried.
Yeah, maybe he can get a better cell phone service.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm surprised he even called. I wonder what services he have.
He said Metro PCS.
Oh, okay. It was Metro PCS. Okay.
Sounded like Sprint.
Funny thing is, I have Metro PCS.
Sounded like Sprint to me.
Pros.
So, Bobby, you can relate then a little bit. I got you.
A little bit.
I got you. All right. Well, that sucks that I missed that. I really wish I could have been there for that.
Yeah, me too. Yay.
Okay. So what do we have up next, Bill?
Chat room game, right?
Yes, I believe it is the chat room game. All right. We should, you know what, in honor of the Thundercats, we'll...
Change the chat room game?
Suddenly now we'll change it. No, we'll use a little Thundercats music. We'll keep the spirit alive. We'll throw a little Thundercats Tigra theme in the background. Hopefully we don't get sued. All right, so this setup on this one was Office Place Survivor competitions. And basically it was go crazy with the kids. So we've got the water cooler luge. We got the break room bagel barrage.
No, that's good. I was going to...
Go for it. The paperclip tug of war.
That's good.
Staple in a paper pile. I guess you got to find it, right? Boss mud wrestling.
Very good.
I think that's a way to
That's good.
That's a way to raise money for charity.
Absolutely.
That's boss.
And whoever wins is the new boss.
That's right.
Okay, so they've got Phil from accounting's game of roulette. And then we got, this is from John Zombie John, Jill from marketing's wet blouse contest.
Bingo.
There you go.
Jay's an easy mark on that one. All right. Wesley's got the cubicle filling puzzle, which I guess everybody plays every day, all day long. John Zombie Thompson, Zon Zombie, you like that? Zombie Juice. He's got donuts in the break room dash. The printing press auction. Cover it and post it.
So I'm assuming that's covering something in post.
Yeah, just like, someone's entire office. That's a real one, which is cool. Stumbling stress balls. I'm not sure. Jammed printer tossing.
Very good.
That's like a real Office Space reference.
Yeah, you get frustrated. You can toss those things pretty far.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Endurance bathroom breaks.
There you go. I can see that easily being a race.
Power presentation pole vaulting. You gotta make, I guess whatever it takes to make an impression these
Say
days.
that 9 times real fast.
And then we got a PDF, which is just a presentation display folding.
Very good.
But these are all great. We had a lot of fun there, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
kids.
bringing it around.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. You can play with us every week if you listen to us live on Mixlr in the chat room, mixlr.com/wicked-theory every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's it.
There you go.
I can go right out with the music.
All right.
Yeah.
That sounded professional.
A heart out. There's
There's
nothing wrong with a heart out.
I like it. Well, it's not as, is it as good or as better as the heart in?
Well,
I mean, they have to be worked in conjunction, I think, is the key, right?
That's true.
I mean, I'm no fan of math, but I think that's how that goes.
Matt.
You know what I'm saying? The math.
Math.
Everybody loves the math. How about... Oops. Volume. How about volume, Bill?
Yeah, we like.
You guys like volume on my buttons? I like volume. You like volume on your
Yes,
mic?
I would.
Shit, I'm turning back down. No, I'm kidding.
Freebird, baby. Go ahead.
Meanwhile... Parker! Put your pants back on. We're done with the news.
Wait, now I can do the news riff.
There you go.
No, go ahead.
Feeling it. I know. Oh, give us something for Meanwhile. Why not? That's good. Sounds like news. Sounds like news.
Meanwhile, a clock.
All right. So
I changed the ending.
Mean o'clock.
So I really don't got nothing. You know what I mean? I was on vacation. I just kind of decompressed a lot. I marveled in the fact that I got a real phone now.
Yes.
So I guess I could talk about that real quick. I don't think I hit that on the show at all.
Yeah.
After 10 or 11 years of having the same exact flip phone.
I know. I saw the video.
Well, thank you. Thank you for helping me plug it. There's a video on YouTube, and I think around some of the places I haunt.
Very fitting too.
Yeah. Well, it was. We were together for a long time.
I knew it right from when you said it. I had a feeling that you got a new phone. It was I'm like, did he fucking buy a new phone? He's doing a bit.
I think we got to see if you had that cell phone for like a record-breaking length of time.
I wanted to. I so wanted to.
98% of the cellular phone using public gets rid of their phone every 2 years.
My friend Jeff, who works at AT&T, and he's like up there now. Last time I saw him, which was like 5 years ago, almost fell down laughing at me. And that was then. He's like, don't you understand? We're going to shut you off soon. He's like, you're probably just going to wake up one day and you're not going to have service. And you're just going to have to go get a new phone. I was like, Jeff, I'll just wait till that day then. And that was the joke, you know what I mean, with him. But, I should have dedicated the video to him and really tagged him on.
Do you want to tell everybody how long you had that cell phone?
No, 10 years. 10 or more years, yeah. At least. Last time I checked it, I kind of remember it being 10 years. I don't know if that's exactly the case.
You should probably go back to your
cellular. But it's only 9 or 11. It's not off by much,
You should go back to your cellular provider and ask them, when was the last time before this most recent one?
Yeah. I mean, that's...
just to find out.
Yeah.
They'd probably give you a free one.
Well, that's what I was going to wait for. I was going to wait for them to be... That's what the joke was. It was like, I'm just waiting for Verizon to call me and be like, sir, we'll give you a free phone. And I was going to be like, well, it's going to be the best one, right?
Wait.
They probably would have just been another fucking flip phone because they still make them. It would have just been like, not,
Right. It would be a 4G flip phone.
Right. It would be the best of the flips.
Right. Yeah. The government says we have to kill 2G service. Now,
Right.
I
could have had a 2-inch by 1-inch screen in high def.
Right. We're only keeping 2G alive because of you, Bill.
Yeah. Emergency
congratulations,
services.
my
Well,
friend.
thank you. So I spent most of my vacation figuring out how to use it, although not too complicated. I mean, I have other Mac products around here, but
You were on the internet more in the last week than you were in the last 10 years.
Well, it always explained why I got the crazy looks. It's the thing I go into the video about, but people would be like, why you? How come you have a flip phone? You have a laptop and the iPad and websites and podcasts. And I'd be like, just because I like how it fits in my pocket. And now this thing is like literally, it's a brick face. It's basically a brick face.
Yeah, you have the same phone I had.
Yeah.
And it goes in your
Oh, it fits my
pants
jeans
yeah.
fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm just
But
saying,
it's a brick.
I went from something that fit in my coin pocket on my jeans. You know what I mean?
Right.
The fifth pocket to something that's like,
You get the nice OtterBox.
I could literally murder you with this right
Yeah,
now.
I got the iPhone 10. Same things.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Break
I
it in
have,
half, cut
I
you.
have a 6-inch screen. And yours phone is bigger than mine.
They're measuring iPhones.
No,
They're
that's-
measuring phones.
Listen, we're brothers, so the one of us being bigger by a little bit, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, we should be close to about the same,
All right. Thank you.
You get that reference?
Hey, I got it.
Okay.
This ain't my first day here.
I think we were doing
We
meanwhile.
both got big phones.
I think we were doing meanwhile.
And Bob did his meanwhile
That's
in
true.
the news.
That's true. It's a little mixed up in the
This
placement.
is all me.
It's
So
all
what's-
good. Well, I mean,
so-
that's why I came in with the phone.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that happened to me. It's not necessarily a show, but it's like an event. I learned a couple things. So if you saw me during the last week while I was on vacation in Florida, all of a sudden on Twitter getting like, oh, look at this guy. That's what that was.
Having some fun.
Yeah, I woke up,
Joining in.
It's officially 2018 for me.
There you go,
It's
Chief.
kind of crazy.
This rum is really damn good. Actually, I'm on Jack now. I'm sorry.
Just straight Jack.
Well, we had rum, and I finished that bottle, so now we're on Jack Daniels.
Did this happen all while I was in the bathroom during the Mumm-Ra
I
call?
had somebody had
Yeah.
to drink during that thing.
Where were you? Oh, yeah, never mind.
I was working a thing, man. I had to get it out. All right, so Jay,
Yeah,
you saw a
man.
movie I was told to see that I hear is really great, and it's called Den of Thieves.
Yeah, and actually, everybody should see this
Okay.
because it's a really good fucking action movie.
It's
man.
badass, right?
It's badass, man. Talk about fucking Gerard Butler, man of the hour.
Yeah, like don't sleep on it. Like I think a lot of people slept on it.
Well, it was part of like the January stuff, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people like to push shit into January just to get it out.
Yeah.
Had this been released now, I think it might have gotten a little bit more traction. But this is a good fucking movie, man. It's
Sure.
pretty fucking solid. Gerard Butler, man. I mean, he's a guy that's always kind of like solid out the gate.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's that actor. Once you see him, you're just going to enjoy yourself.
Right.
Even if it's just like fodder, like, London has fallen or Olympus has fallen.
Okay.
You enjoy him because he's that kind of an actor you just love watching
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
screen.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's this big brute.
He sells it, man.
It's basically about this section of the county sheriff's department in Los Angeles who basically do anything they fucking want to do.
Okay.
And they're out to just they'll just fucking kill you.
Okay.
And that's it. You know what I mean?
Right,
And they're
right,
after
right.
this little crew that's robbing banks. And they're really fucking like good at it. You
Wish
know what
I
mean?
had a crew like that, but go on.
And it reminded me a little bit of Heat
Okay.
with a little bit extra grit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
A little bit more action rather than just tension. I feel like that's a key to Heat. you know?
Well, Heat has got that Michael Mann kind of tension that just drizzles over the whole
Tension,
fucking
yeah.
movie for 3 hours.
Right.
This is more like, it's really just like in your face, gritty kind of fucking shit. It's got an actor, I forget his name, but he played the leprechaun on American Gods.
He plays Sweeney.
He plays Sweeney. Yeah,
Our friend
exactly.
Sweeney.
Right.
Yeah. He's also on Orange is the New Black. He's porno mustache.
Yeah, right. So he basically plays the head of this this crew that just they excel at robbing banks. And Pablo Schreiber, his name is.
Okay.
And Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson Jr. He played Ice-T in
Right.
Straight Outta Compton. He's in it as
Okay.
well, bringing it. You know what I mean? There's solid performances all around, pretty gritty action. I don't want to give it away. I want people to sit down and watch this, and really just witness a really good action drama, gritty, done right.
Well, I was telling you earlier that the last, I had seen some trailers for it and it looked pretty good. It looked pretty intense. And it was getting a decent, like they were really pushing it hard on.
It got good reviews.
The marketing was really pushing it hard on the web. Like I was coming across it constantly, like the days leading up to it. But this kid came in my job who, like, I talk about movies once in a while. He's not one of the people that, like, I talk to movies a lot. But he came in, like, it was the first thing out of his mouth. He's like, yo, man. Den of Thieves, you got to go see Den of Thieves, man. Like, don't see because that's where that came from. Like, he's told me, he's like, don't sleep on it. Don't think it's like, I was like, I don't know what you might have seen or whatever, But he's like, it's good, like,
And see, here's the thing too. I always talk about on here, especially I argue with Ed a lot, that there's a lot of movies that don't get the attention they deserve.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And the fact is that well, you too. I mean, we come from urban reality here. You know what I mean? And there's a certain sense of identification when it comes to these kind of films and everything. And these are the kind of movies that people should invest in. Yeah. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be call me by your fucking name all the fucking time and get all the wonder and shit like that. Sometimes you need some dirt.
Right.
And Gerard Butler again is one of those actors where he just nails it all the time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Which is probably the reason why I liked Geostorm more than I did. It's because of him, man.
Yeah,
you know
probably.
What I mean? It's because
otherwise it's just an effects romp.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like you've seen that in a way. It's like, okay, how can you guys top yourselves every 10 minutes?
Right.
Who's going to carry me through?
Right.
You got to get a guy like him who's solid and makes the action stuff he's going to bring to it believable.
So all I have to basically say is I hope he'd be awesome if Marvel Studios can snatch him for something.
Yeah,
because
I mean, I don't know, I can't off the top of my head.
He'd be
perfect,
but
he'd be a great component.
But he's Comic World for 300 for the most part.
I think the thing with Marvel with their characters is they realize the characters are just that, characters, so they get people who can be character actors.
Right, people who really don't have to become somebody else to achieve it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the natural fit kind of thing.
Right, there is a really like when you look at Benedict Cumberbatch.
Right.
You see him, even though he's like got almost reddish brown hair.
Yeah, but the casting of him.
Yeah, it's like that dude. Yeah, he's him.
Personality-wise, it's like through and through. Like he doesn't have to act hard to pull off Stephen Strange. It doesn't seem like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like Robert Downey Jr. doesn't have to act hard to pull off Tony Stark. Like, and what's his name? Ruffalo doesn't have to act too. Like, you know what I mean? They don't have to get deep into character because they're so close to their own personalities in ways. Right. Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's a key to Marvel's success with the casting. Like, you know what I mean? You got the kid. You say what you want about Andrew Garfield, but I feel like his Peter Parker banter in Suit was really good.
Yeah.
People you can give whatever you want about the whole aesthetic of him being like an angsty teen or this kind of bullshit. Other things didn't work, whatever. The thing I love most about that is when he's in Suit and he's bantery. And I feel like that's the only thing he got. But I
maybe
feel like
that's what sold them on him in the first place.
I think so. But I think what the new kids got is everything.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a more natural fit.
Well, it starts with the fact that he's a kid.
Yeah, and he's like 4 feet tall.
Andrew Garfield was like, what, 30 when he got the
30,
role?
and he's, he's like taller than me, and I know he's English. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other kid, like, I forget that he's English. Because, like, he's not doing some generic American New York accent. Like, he sounds like he spent a year in Queens, trying to hang out with kids so he could pick it up. Like,
And he's someone who's willing to do all the stunts because he's already been doing them on his own without anybody asking him to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But,
running up and down buildings.
And how do you find that kid's like a all-around perfect fit like that?
Ball energy like that,
you know?
Also, it's funny because, like, in this movie, Den of Thieves, Gerard Butler looks like a guy that'll just back fucking hand you. He's just a fucking big fucking brute of a guy that'll just, like, if you saw this guy coming at you, especially drunk because he drinks a lot. See, I saw a lot of myself in this guy, Big Nick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's just this big fucking husky guy, pissed off.
Well, that's the thing. I'm looking at. I pulled up some pictures from it, and I remember it all comes back to me from the trailer. He's got this good beard on him, a little bit like yours. Like a real bushy kind of goatee thing going on.
He's got
about 8 days on it.
Yeah.
So. Remind me later when we get into the after show that I have a kind of undercover cop related thing.
Oh, cool. So I got one last thing in the meanwhile.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you how much I've been enjoying Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay. I heard it got really good.
Last week was an amazing episode, and it was more of a subtle episode too.
Okay.
Basically, I don't know how much of this season you watched.
Just the opener. I kind of had some conversations with people, so I'm tangentially familiar with where things are going.
Right. Well, the thing is this now. Fear the Walking Dead, if you're a big fan of zombie and horror stuff, people like it. They like, that it's different and whatnot. This now looks like it's turning into a vehicle for Morgan.
Okay.
Because there's a whole slew of new characters now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And the fact is that these new characters
killed off somebody this season that I didn't think they were ever going to kill off.
Yeah, and they did.
I thought that character was a long-term player. Not to spoil for anybody, but I thought that character was going to be a long-term player.
And rumors of another one
coming.
Wow. So, but the fact is that they brought in these new characters, and these new characters are really fucking good. And the thing is, Garrett Dillahunt. Right. He plays the gunslinger with the cowboy outfit. We got a little bit of an origin story from him and a certain character that's on there. A character played by Jenna Elfman. Okay. Who is not Jenna Elfman. She's this...
Well, when I saw her pop up in the preview, I was like, okay.
And she's nailing it.
Yeah, I heard she's a little...
Last week's episode
duplicitous.
Was fantastic. You know what I mean? I just thought, and it was basically their backstory being told, which I don't mind if it's done right.
Yeah, and if there's a reveal, if there's something worth really going for.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been watching Fear the Walking Dead. I think it's a pretty solid zombie story.
But there's no denying it's improved by leaps and bounds, would you say?
Yeah, well, I think Gimple came aboard this season and took control, I think.
Well, Gimple's now moved to, or at least coming forward recently, he's been moved to a position of overseeing all of it.
Right.
Where like he's like an Uber producer now.
Nicotero too.
Yeah, and so Nicotero is involved in both shows too, but those shows still have their own new executive producers filling in the role that Gimple had over here.
Right.
But now Gimple oversees both shows plus some other Walking Dead related stuff. For like the AMC thing has kind of become like, oh, it's so big. They need somebody else besides Kirkman to kind of keep it all working and flowing together in a way. All these different kind of iterations and properties and versions, like things they're putting out. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, the structure of this is pretty fucking good because, you really don't know what happened last season.
Right. Because
they left you on this cliffhanger and then they jump. So everybody's fine.
Right.
But you don't know exactly what happened. And they're still telling that story, but they're doing it as a jump ahead, and you find out little by little, but it's not just a little by little till it gets there. You're also getting background on new characters,
Right.
and it's, to me, I think it's structurally brilliant.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? To the point where I'm really digging it, man.
Right,
I think
right,
it's a solid show, and it's become high level now.
Yeah. Compared to Walking Dead, I would always hoped that it would be the show that probably wouldn't hold back because it didn't have any restrictions really placed upon it. Whereas Walking Dead's got all this kind of, it's got way too many people like staring at it, first of all, and like, you know, too many people have to be, you know, there's too much behind the scenes where like, oh, we got to be so careful, or, you know, everything's got to be hyper considered, and you know, you also
Right.
using the comic as a starting point, whereas this thing over here can be anything it fucking wants to be.
Right.
You know, the main question is it going to be good? And I'm so glad to hear that it's gotten good, because that means like, because I actually liked the Morgan episode of that show.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't usually like Morgan. Like I finished up the last season of Walking Dead, like kind of like being done with Morgan and feeling like this whole, if he goes into this show, I want this whole back and forth. Am I good? Am I not? Can I do this? Can I not? Like to be done, and him to kind of like find a place and just kind of
And I think
settle
that
in.
this is
Like
great
that.
because the thing is too is that I like Strand and I like Madison, and you know it's like some characters are stronger than others, but it seems like they're going through a huge change now for this,
Right.
Where it's becoming a whole new lineup with like Morgan holding the reins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I know what Gimple's trying to do.
Right.
He's trying to give you that Walking Dead relation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And therefore, like the show becomes something that feels more like a sister show.
Right, and take the strong characters that
Yeah.
already exist on the show, mix them with these new characters that are fucking balls out,
Right.
and
Clear the chaff
yeah,
in a way.
and I think that they're on the right path now. Definitely check out that last week's episode.
All right. Good. Oh, I'm happy to hear that in a way.
Yeah. You'll know what I'm talking about when you listen to that, but watch the others too.
No, yeah.
Keep it going.
Because the seasons, I mean, how far could they be in?
There's 5 episodes.
Yeah,
6?
so I'm only out by 4 episodes.
Even
so.
Maggie Grace is good in it.
We gotta catch up on Legion. Like when we were away, we missed 2 episodes of Legion.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that's that's where me and Bob are at. So, if you haven't heard us talking about Legion, people,
Wow.
and we're missing 2 episodes. Like we can just tell you that in the next episode, our minds will be blown, and then the episode after that probably be picked up and then scrambled and reblown.
Yeah, that sounds about
It
right.
sounds about right.
Yeah.
But that's that kind of show.
Yeah, because don't ask me where we're at right now.
Yeah, and I say it every week after the show. I tweet it every week, and I'm going to keep doing it until it happens. But if any show needs an after show, it's that
Yes.
show. But it's got to be a show where they help
Explain stuff.
break it down. Like what's symbolism, what's not, what's cool, like just them having fun, like as camera artistic symbolism versus like
Right.
no, that's in show symbolism and it means something.
Right.
Because I feel like that's the problem sometimes with the show. It's like, oh, is that just an aesthetic choice because it's like we're doing a thing, or is it like no, that's got a meaning, like and it's
Right.
like where's the line? Like they don't have to give me. We don't have to talk about the next episode. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just worry about the one we just saw.
Just help me understand what I just saw.
Yeah, exactly. so that's kind of that. I guess that's for my meanwhile, and Bob's there, and also watching, still loving Westworld. So
Yeah, which I still have to catch up
yeah,
on.
which I would recommend. This week was a really good one.
Okay, so I
Some
have to
clarity
catch
on
up.
some things, but as with Westworld, not so much clarity with other things. But that's how that goes,
Right.
So it was definitely good. It definitely had some great stuff.
Ed Harris still awesome.
Yeah, Ed Harris is still awesome. Everybody on that show is awesome. The people who pop in for like 2 episodes are awesome.
Yeah,
Like, you know what
it's,
I mean?
yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
I
great.
gotta watch it. The thing is, I watched Westworld season 1
Yeah.
in a binge,
Yeah,
and I think I prefer watching
sure.
shows in a binge.
Yeah, it's tough. Here's the thing, and in listening to a podcast about Westworld, I've come to the realization that Westworld's like Lost, where, you watch it in a binge and you can retain the inferences more.
Right.
Right? If you don't watch it in a binge, you can kind of get lost from it. And I think that's why there's some second season kind of drift that's going on in Westworld. Because now as Westworld gets more convoluted in a different way than Lost did. Like Lost told you what was a flashback. You know,
Yeah.
Westworld is like, oh, we are fucking with you to the point where, like, if you don't notice clothing, you won't know it's a flashback.
Right,
like, you know what I mean? That
right.
kind of shit. So, like, you need the podcasts to kind of, like, help. And that's why I recommended it last time, and I'll throw it out again. Shout on TV podcasts. They do a Westworld podcast. They do 3 episodes a week, basically. There's like a 20-minute after show. They kind of break down initial reactions. There's a full episode about 2 days later, and then at the end of the week, they do one of the all emails and theories. But anyway, it's just like, you know, it's another one of those shows. It needs an after show. I know Game of Thrones gets one for the hype, but there's no confusion at a level where it's like there for like shows like Legion or Westworld. You know what I mean? Like,
Walking Dead's got one too.
yeah, you know what I mean? Well, Walking Dead's the granddaddy of them, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for Walking Dead, like having that
Talking Dead.
Talking Dead and showing that it could work. Like,
Hardwick.
Damn you, Hardwick. Hardwick?
You know Chris Hardwick is in House of a Thousand Corpses?
I think
Did
I've
you
heard
know that?
I think I've heard that because I've listened to his podcast a
Yeah.
lot, like here and there. So, and he just loves all, you know, anything and everything.
Right.
He's just super nerd to the ninth. It's not an act for that guy.
Right.
Like I follow him on Instagram, and it's a little annoying to watch him constantly remodel his house to do things like that are just nerd because he's got this sick fucking house, and it's like, okay, we're just gonna like, you know, he's working on a podcasting studio for inside his house, like a real space. So like they're blowing out this one area, doing the wall, and it's gonna be like a TARDIS and like some other shit, and that's just like before you walk in, and it's just like, go fuck yourself.
You know, the thing is,
Fuck you
too,
and your success.
which is weird, is because I didn't know about his involvement with Nerdist.
Right.
I knew him as the guy from House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm
Right.
like, well, how the fuck? And then I realized, I
kid.
went back,
Yeah.
and I saw that he was he had his own shit
yeah,
for
he
a
had
long time.
Yeah, he had built his own thing up after everybody's like, oh, you're just the guy from that MTV dating show, that shitty. And he's like, yes, it's true. But his podcast is great because like he just had on the guy who plays he's on Preacher. He plays not Featherstone. What's the guy's name? Her partner. Anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's a rapper from back in the days. Turns out he's another insane nerd who, like, it was just like listening to the two of them just be geeky and funny as fuck for an hour. So I recommend that out.
Just makes me wonder why Rob Zombie hasn't been on Talking Dead or something like that.
That's a
'Cause,
good question.
You know,
I wonder if he's, like, into it. Like, you know, I'm sure that if he isn't right now, he probably was in the beginning.
he's a little more hardcore, though. I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's too busy making his own horror movies, I guess.
She's the booga about the heat.
I don't even know.
Yeah, little Rob Zombie.
Little Rob Zombie. Oh, man. Fucking.
You know what? I
had Dracula. I had that whole album.
I would like to see him go back to White Zombie.
Well, White Zombie's not that far from, I mean, what he was doing his solo stuff, at least early on with his solo stuff.
The early on solo stuff, yeah.
You know, it was very similar in nature.
But from what I remember, the guitar player had a bad falling out.
Yeah,
for
something
the
like
band,
that.
for
yeah.
White Zombie, right?
When he left them behind, he was real pissed.
Well, I know the replacement drummer in Testament went to his band, John DePesta. He was
Excellent drummer.
he's on the Low album, the Testament's Low album.
Oh, yeah, and he's phenomenal.
He
on
is
that one.
he's amazing drummer.
That's one of my favorite albums. of theirs, by the
Low,
way.
yeah, and that's the one without.
And I don't like growling in their music a lot, but
Right.
on that album,
It's a tight metal.
yeah,
it's
very
tight
tight.
metal.
It's
Tight.
like it's Toyga.
I love their cover of Power Slave.
Yeah. Hail Mary, full of grace, baby.
You know what else is pretty heavy metal? That Deadpool 2.
Oh, is that were you
Yeah.
there yet?
Yeah, let's just run right into that. Let's not get too crazy with it because we're a little close on time, but fucking, I'm not too close, but anyway.
It was a comedy.
Did you see it, Bill?
I did.
Wow, so did I.
Mere hours ago, last night,
Yeah.
me, you, and Ed.
Yes.
And by the way, it's true. Just to get this out of the way, Ed's whole "I'm trying to dodge trailers."
Yeah, you know what? I gotta say. Can I say something? I have
Yeah,
to.
well,
I
you
have to
sat next to
express
him. I
this.
didn't see it.
I love how we can't get past it. Go ahead.
It's retarded, man.
Yeah, well, you know, he's giving it a go. It's a little overdone. You know what I mean?
It's a bit-
Because even
but-
Dom's not doing it that fucking hard.
Right.
You
But
know?
you know what? It's his option. Let him do it.
I know. It's just a little.
Even if he's doing it for
Yeah.
bit when we're there, like no one knows what he's doing by himself if he's really going that far.
Well, you should see my bit if I was there. I would have taken it off.
Yeah, and
Oh, did you?
No. But we got it on camera. But it's on the Periscope.
I saw it.
So at the very least, he did really have music playing on his headphones too. I was kind of surprised.
And so you had to nudge him?
I had to tap him in. He told me too. He's like, when the Coca-Cola ad comes up, that's when we're done. I'm like, no, I've seen movies before. I know how this works. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's when I tapped him in. I should have tapped him in during the middle of something else. He probably was waiting for me to do that.
Nerd.
He's not
Right?
thinking
Yeah,
about
you're expecting it.
because he likes a bit. He likes a good bit, and I think that's a little bit of the key. We'll have to find out one day when he's going to a movie. He might be listening to this, and observe him from afar.
He can listen to whatever he wants. I'm saying it out loud.
I'm saying he'll be hip to us if he hears this. All right,
We're seeing
so
Ed O'Hare in The Wire for the first time.
crikey. Deadpool 2 was really fucking good, man. Lives up to it.
Yeah, lives up to it. I didn't find it to be quite as funny as the
I think
first
they
one.
dialed back a little bit of the jokes per minute thing.
Yeah.
It's still really funny. There's still a shit ton of jokes.
Right.
But
And
I feel like
some you will miss.
but I feel like there's some passages where it's like, okay, this is okay. This is like a mature. This is like an adult, not an adult like in a way, but like okay, we're having a real movie here for a second.
Yeah.
Then it comes a dick joke, but still,
Right.
there's a couple more of those, and it's not to say that it's like changed or it's different or it's bad. It's a new element. It's a little more focus on that, which I like. I think it works. I think it's good. I think the whole thing shines.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit better than I anticipated it to be.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I think
Yeah.
it lives up to the original.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
And the
And
thing
it
is,
reaches beyond it because the story is more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I laughed out loud on a few things, and I really enjoyed the humor of it, how they take
Right.
this, and they actually really go for the outlandish jokes
Right.
that they have the balls to actually
Right.
make fun of itself.
Yeah. Well, that's the great thing about it. Like, you know what I mean? It's all that fourth wall stuff.
Yeah.
And just not taking the genre seriously. It's great.
And I like Brolin as Cable, man.
Yeah, I liked it a lot better than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
Like it grew on
Yeah.
me.
Like he nails it and plays it straight, which is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It's great. It's great.
And I love the we get both. We get two for the price of one jokes at Brolin's expense. A Thanos
Oh yeah, and a Goonies.
and a Goonies reference.
right. So, as to expect, the movie is littered with lots of fucking puns, lots of fucking ribald humor.
Yeah.
It's to really get into what's great about it, we'd have to tell you all the jokes and really kind of ruin them for people. And that's different than sitting here and just telling you what's great about the story.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's great about the story to cover that is that it's that goes the first one a little bit where okay, there is a relationship angle. But
Yeah.
this one's more about family, quote unquote.
Right. And it really is. It says that it is, and you don't expect it to be true.
Yeah.
But it is.
And not in a sappy way
Right.
or too much way
Right.
that feels
No,
forced or something.
But it's in
It
a way.
works.
It's in a way where Deadpool finds the good in himself.
I mean,
Right.
they borrowed a little bit from Looper, whereas
Yeah.
they go back in time to
This
stop something from happening. Do you remember the
Yeah, well, Looper. Well, just the whole classic theory of
going back in time
to prevent somebody
something,
to
yeah.
kill Hitler's baby, or
Right.
baby
Right.
Hitler or whatever kind of thing.
Right.
That's what Cable's doing. He's coming back in time, basically, to prevent some shit from happening.
Right.
And he's got to take out somebody in order to
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Before
Deadpool's
that
gotta
person.
stop him.
Before that person becomes too powerful.
Right. And but yeah, I mean, it's got some familiar tropes in it, but it does, it spins it in its own way.
Sure. Because
Yeah.
it's Deadpool. He's going to point him out and he's going to make fun of him.
You know what I mean? And have fun with it.
Yeah.
And that's the other great thing. There are things that happen here that you think are done, and they come back. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I
In
guess
every sense.
I guess we're doing that. And then it's like, yeah, but it's okay because they had you when it happened, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, because you know what it
You
is
accepted
too.
it at least.
Yeah.
And, then,
And I was like, okay, cool.
Because I'm like, well, if you can do that, then why don't you do this? And then they do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do that, then why don't you do And they do it,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
keep doing it.
Why
and
don't you
it's
just
like,
take that to the next level? And it's like, oh, okay.
yeah,
and
we
they
were-
do.
yeah, we
Yeah.
planned to already.
Right. I just
We're
really
right there.
noticed.
We're right there with you. So it's really sharp, and I had always been a little concerned because, like, that first one, like, if you know the deal, it's like, those guys sat on that, really kind of, like, made it perfect, rewrote it, really tweaked it, and got it, like, made the sauce perfect on it.
Yeah.
And so it felt like, oh, this might be like a one-time thing or something. And it's like, no, we can recapture this enough. This, and so I was really happy with that.
Such a great time, too.
Yeah, really great time.
Yeah,
And,
that whole scene where he and Cable agree and shake hands.
yeah. Yeah.
God, that's a moment right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments. There's a lot of moments.
Yeah, don't bring the kids to this,
Yeah.
please.
And there's some stuff that's like, oh, look, that's a spin on something straight out of the first movie, which is cool.
Right. Just think baby hand.
Yeah, Bob's always got to do that. I remember when I came home and I was going to see Lethal Weapon 2 or 3, and Bob's thing out the door was, just remember condom tree. Condom tree. That's all I'm saying. It's condom tree.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like the whole movie, I'm just like, where's the condom tree? Where's the condom tree? Where's the condom tree?
That's a funny scene, though.
It is a funny scene, but soon and then I saw it coming. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, something if you liked the baby hand in the first one,
right? That's not saying
it's revisited.
I'm not telling you to go look for a condom tree, and then there's a condom tree.
Right.
That's a little different. That is a little different.
That is a little different. Nor a baby tree, or a baby hand.
Yeah, or a condom baby.
Baby tree would be Groot.
Or a baby made out of condoms.
Or a tree condom.
Yeah.
That's a lot of rubber.
But definitely a setup for X-Force film.
X-Force.
Yeah.
Which is going into production.
What did you think of Domino?
Oh, loved her, man.
Loved her.
Loved it. I thought the moment I saw her in action, I was like, yeah, she's fucking perfect.
She's fucking perfect.
She's perfect.
I love the execution.
She's hot as fuck.
I love the execution on her powers too. The
Yeah.
way they made that work visually. Luck-based abilities, like
Right.
I laughed a lot with his tryouts.
Yes,
The
right.
people
There's a clip out there. That's in
my
the commercials.
God.
Yes.
The tryout stuff is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I laughed my ass off.
Yeah. Don't blink when.
Don't even try. I know where you're going.
Well, yeah, all right. I want.
Let people look
We'll
at
just
that.
say, zzz, don't blink when it's zits.
Definite stash for me.
Yeah, stash.
Yeah,
Stash.
definitely.
You know why? Because there's going to be good stuff on the DVDs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and definitely stay till the very end of the movie, the credits and all.
Well, you don't have to stay to the very, very end.
Well, no, because there's not one after the credits are
Right,
done.
right.
We
But when it
sat
seems
there-
like it's done, it's done. They don't do the Ferris Bueller like they did in the other one.
No, but
Which is great.
stay for the credits.
Yeah, stay for the credits. There's definitely
you
a
need,
sequence.
You need to stay for the credits.
The movie wraps itself up through the
Right.
credits.
It really doesn't end until you've seen the
Few
credits.
things.
And those things kind of under a decent clip. You couldn't leave the theater. You would get caught, like, you'd have to turn around because you'd be like, oh, shit.
Right.
All right, so that's gonna wrap that up, and then we're gonna jump into emails, kids. You remember emails, right?
Do we got some emails?
We got a couple. I gotta roll this thing back
Two?
to about a year ago.
Couple, two, tree?
Wow, we got a lot of fucking junk mail in here.
I know,
gotta
man. What
pay
the hell?
attention.
You should answer one of those one day.
We used to do that bit, and it seemed to annoy everybody.
Well,
Not the listeners, but the guys on the show.
let me do one.
You're like, Bill, you gonna do another fucking reading of the Nigerian prince email? I was like, all right, when a different one comes in, it's like a bit of a switch up. But we get a bunch of these all the time.
So who?
So first one, rolling it back to the date of 5/7/2018. Comes from Benny Livewire.
Benny.
And the subject line is an email while drunk.
Oh, my kind of guy. There's things I still answer for because I did things drunk.
Yeah, I mean, drunk dialing, drunk emailing. I think you gotta be careful with these things.
Drunk driving.
Hi, Wicked Theory. Keira Knightley is most noted for her performance in Pirates of the Caribbean sequels. However, I would say that her best performance was in Domino. My question for you guys, name an actor or actress you think had their best film performance, but is most remembered in a different thing, in a different film or franchise. So I think that's a broad stroke.
Well, it'd be kind of like saying the one you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger for is Terminator.
Right.
But probably his best performance would be something like Twins.
Right. Or Stallone, you could say, or like Kindergarten Cop, maybe.
Right. Yeah, or Kindergarten Cop, right.
Schwarzenegger.
But like you say, like with Stallone, his best performance might be something like Copland.
Right. That's where I was going with
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But be known
Wapland.
for Rocky.
Wapland.
Wapland.
Well,
Although-
you're Italian. You can say that.
I can say
can't.
it.
I
Although
can't.
when you
You
think of
just
the
did.
character of Rocky, he's a pretty good,
yeah.
actor.
Yeah. When you put him in something that's a little close to himself. Yeah,
Kind of like what Marvel's doing.
Right. It goes back to what Marvel's doing. But yeah, like I mean, like what's his name? Speaking of Marvel, is Tony Stark himself. Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
He's got so much crazy shit before you ever hit that. Now, like it's like feels a million miles away to talk about like Less Than Zero or some other thing he did when he was so young.
If you want to hone in on, he's not even Tropic Thunder because he was nominated for Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
People know that.
Yeah.
For me, his performance in Natural Born Killers
Oh,
is fucking
yeah.
like.
Mickey and Mallory Knox. Like,
Like-
I just hear him saying it. What was his name in that?
Wayne Gale.
Wayne Gale. Right. He's a
Live
tabloid.
interview with Wayne Gale. Because
Yeah.
that's basically Tarantino's script.
Yeah.
He's like almost the lead character.
Yeah, he's in a lot of it.
He's in
The
like, a lot
majority of it, yeah.
But basically the riff on Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah, and Current Affair and these kinds of tabloid TV
He
shows.
just fucking nails it, and
Yeah.
it's actually quite brilliant performance.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so was his performance in Less Than Zero.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, this is not a guy who's ever fucking shirked it.
No.
That's the thing you could say about a guy like that.
Yeah.
He's never really seemed like he was phoning it
Right.
in.
Never.
No. That's definitely, even back in the days when he has, questionable resource.
Like even his rom-coms,
Right.
he's like,
You want
He's
to
a
love him.
standout, yeah.
I want to rom him and calm him.
I played Charlie Chaplin really good though. I gotta say,
I never saw that one.
but he's damn good in it.
And even Sherlock in the Sherlock Holmes
yeah.
movies, which are kind of like just action
Yeah.
movies in old England.
It's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
I have Ray Liotta is known for Goodfellas, for the most part.
He was a good fella.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is a movie that he did called Narc.
Yeah. I think we've had some conversations.
Yeah,
about it before.
I spoke about it. Joe
Yeah.
Carnahan's Narc. I'm just gonna keep it short.
Yeah.
Watch that movie.
Right. Because Ray Liotta's a guy. People will make an argument like he doesn't feel like he acts much anymore, but he's got some great early stuff, man.
See that movie.
He's got some great
he
early
put
stuff.
30 pounds on, and he is a lot of like. As now that I've done like this acting,
Yeah,
bit,
sure.
I did this thing, Rock
Whoa,
Island.
you're acting? Whoa,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up?
no.
Newsflash.
That performance in that movie was a little bit of almost a homage to it.
Right.
Because he put the weight on, he has that thick goatee.
Sure,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
yelling. When he's yelling, and only thing I can think of is because Jason Patrick's the other cop in that.
Right.
Is like, what is he thinking having this fucking guy
Yeah.
in his face? Because he looks intimidating to begin with.
Yeah. That's what I always think too.
You know what I mean?
Like when someone's in your face getting that aggressive, but we're acting.
Yeah.
How do you stay in the spot? Like, you know what I mean? I guess.
He's a short-tempered, short-edged cop that he's got black gloves on and a trench coat and a shotgun.
Yeah, the whole fucking time.
His hair is fucking
Yeah,
trimmed
yeah,
down.
he's-
His goatee is 9 times thicker than mine, and it's like
Which is hard to do.
Which is hard to do.
It's hard to do. So we got another one in here from Ben.
Yeah, Benny.
This one is a few days later on 5/11. Hi, Wicked Theory. I have a quick question to ask. I hope you will allow it, since Avengers Infinity War has been open for over 3 weeks now. I have a theory, and this has probably been thought of already. Do you guys think all the superheroes we lost in Infinity War have now become trapped in the Soul Stone?
No.
And all that needs to happen is somebody to destroy the stone to retrieve them. Does this idea sound too simple? Let me know. You can also roast me if you want to, because I'm a comic noob, but I do try to read comics regularly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And let's remind people, support your local comic shop, support your local business. Find a comic shop near you, use comicbooklocator.com, and go in there today and spend a couple bucks, all right?
Benny, you and I need to have a drink.
And if it helps, don't get the paperback comics. Buy the graphic novels.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
It's a more familiar format.
that's for sure. But if you go in there and you only want to buy a T-shirt, that's okay too. You know, what I mean, support local business. Keep those shops alive. You know,
Carl Jones.
Comic Book Jones.
I also want to sell like the ashes to my cigar on the Wicked Theory. You know,
you
I'm
think
just
we
gonna put them in a
should
Ziploc.
We'll do like an auction of
Yeah,
some kind.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like these were really smoked.
Well, you know, we're gonna do a fundraiser eventually.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Could be your cigarette ash
That's
too.
one of the things you read off on the board earlier. Not to give it away if it comes to you.
What, Uncle Twit?
No, one of the other things. But if it comes to you, don't say it out loud because I want to.
Is that what you were thinking of calling me?
No. I explained what that was. That was we were gonna do an Uncle Vito. Back when Ed did the Uncle Vito character,
Right.
we were gonna start a Twitter account for him.
Right.
And then lo and behold, you came along. And so we couldn't have Uncle Vito as a character and then you as like a real person.
Right.
We couldn't have two uncles.
Right.
The show could not handle two uncles.
What he's trying to tell you is you got to leave.
All right.
No. No. We prefer you over Uncle Vito.
Ed's bit can leave.
We put it to bed. We definitely put it to bed. It was a valiant effort made by all. So yeah, I don't know.
Uncle Vito.
This one's for Uncle Vito.
Rest in peace.
Keep it alive down there at fucking what was the name of the Lee's Tavern, and with your pictures of drafts and always losing your car keys or whatever.
Nice.
So back to Benny's question about Soulstone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it seems really easy. It's a thing a lot of people are talking about because it kind of keys into what happens in the comics. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of found an angle of it to give it a spin. I'm sure it's not too far from what's really happened, though. I mean, is it just because otherwise it's like
It could be that simple.
It could be that simple, but it's like it can't just be some like going back in time and undoing everything because then that's kind of like a takeaway. And all they keep saying is like, no, this is gonna matter. This is gonna resonate. Like, you know, sure, obviously not everybody is dead because people have movies in the lineup coming. So, but there are a lot of other people, maybe not. I don't know. It's hard to call it at this point because, you know, Marvel actually pulled a couple surprises on that one.
Yes,
Well, technically, we have two that will more than likely, or at least at this point,
Just 'cause they have-
seem to be permanently dead.
Yeah.
Actually, three.
Well,
There's Gamora, Howard the Duck,
yes.
and
I forget who the other one was.
Loki.
And Loki. Right. These
Okay.
were official from James Gunn.
He said those are all dead?
Yeah. That's what you said. I said.
No, well, no,
I mean, you're proclaiming something right now.
no, I'm not proclaiming
I don't
anything.
even buy that
Well,
The Howard
it
the
seems,
Duck thing.
yeah, it seems like if they're going to be able to get everyone else back,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be able to get those three back.
Yeah, they seem to
That's what I'm
die
getting
differently than everybody else.
Right, they died differently. They kind of died for
Yeah,
sure. You know, they're seemingly anyway at this
Spoilers.
Well, we can. I mean, that
Yeah.
can be worked around.
Spoiler alert. Oh, post spoiler warning. It's too late.
You know, Chief.
point. Well, if they're one of the 12
I'm
people
only
on
jo-
Earth that haven't seen the movie,
It was a
yet,
joke. Don't you may
I
won't have
know.
to run it.
I mean, at the
I
end
was
of the
just
day,
going with it.
I know.
science fiction always seems
You were
to
explaining it, but
has
it's
an
all right.
easy out. Oh, science fiction
Well,
always
everything.
has an easy
Everything.
out. You know, what I mean?
I just hate. I've always hated the time travel stuff that undoes everything we just watched. Like as much as I love Star Trek, like there's a couple of Star Trek episodes where it's like at the end it didn't really happen because
Right.
we completely fixed it. So like it's just like
Oh,
it's
more than a
something.
couple.
Well, I was being nice. I wasn't sure how deep the well goes, but you know this is a kind of story thing that happens in some shows where it's like you know at the end. Everything kind of goes back to where it was, and it was like you, the viewer, got to experience it. Nobody else remembers it. It was more like for you than anything else. And it's like, unless you do something weird and crazy with it, which was usually what Star Trek did, sometimes it would feel like all for nothing. Like on other shows. Like in some other shows where it was just
Well,
kind of
they
like,
did figure out ways to do it that didn't seem repetitive.
Right. And it gave you glimpses into some other stuff, too, which is usually what was good about it.
Listen, they brought back fucking Patrick Duffy on Dallas. They can bring back fucking Gamora and Loki and Howard the Duck.
But listen, everybody stood up and screamed bullshit at the TV when they opened up that shower stall, and he's like, what? What's going on?
Hey, at least you know that.
Yeah, of course I know that.
Hey, good
It was
morning.
all a dream.
It was all a dream, right? And she's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I'm scrubbing my nuts. What? I'm doing a Pert commercial. It's split down the middle. The left side
That's
is
right.
tingling.
That's why he did do that, didn't he?
I'm fucking, I don't know, but like
Well,
that was
I
the
think
era.
He did some.
That was the era for the
At
Pert
least-
Plus commercial.
At least, but you know what's funny about it is that that's also nighttime soap opera ish. But every guy loves fucking Jr. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Well, look, the thing that pulled me into
He's a
days,
prick.
the thing that pulled me into Days of Our Lives when I was a kid was the fact that Roman Brady came back from the dead, but it was a totally different guy. And the way they explained that was that like he had extensive plastic surgery.
Well, that's soap opera's fucking
The only
bullshit.
thing. No, yeah, I know.
What
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
you remember that?
But like the fact that like he was like 1.5 foot taller than the original actor. Like when they brought back the original Roman, and it turned out like John had just had his mind fucked with the whole time and was led to believe it was basically like Logan. It was basically
Right.
Wolverine's fucking
Yeah.
origin.
Yeah. The original Roman was like 6'4", and
No, the original one was like 5'5" or something, and then the new guy, who was some other character, John Black, who I think later they were
Yeah.
like, oh, let's make him like Roman because he doesn't remember anything. It was one of these things. Like, so it's like, oh, turns out like I was always like your lover, Deidre Hall, and that was it. Like fucking.
And they're
Am I
fucking.
showing my fucking my cards here too much? And I know this much about
spent too much
Days of Our
time cutting out of school and hanging out with mom.
in the summertime. That's what it
it's
was.
the
It was
summertime?
the summertime. Like one summer, I fucking got to know John Black, Patch, Bo Brady, like all these like kind of like as a kid like some weird cool dudes.
And who was Bo Brady?
Who played Bo? I forget the guy who played Bo Brady, but I can't remember his name.
John Stamos.
No. He was Blackie on General
Oh,
Hospital.
that's right. That's right.
How do you know that shit?
Because that's what my mother would say on General Hospital. Because I wasn't into General Hospital.
My
She'd be
mo-
like,
you know what?
You should watch this. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
cool too. And
Yeah,
I'm like, nah,
she
it's
made
not.
me. She took me to the hairstylist
It was like,
and made me get that haircut.
there you go.
You know what?
Blame Mom.
My mother loved General Hospital too.
Sure,
and I
General
remember,
Hospital's a big hit.
And at that time, you know what's crazy is because there's some crazy ass shit back in the day.
Yeah.
That they don't even touch anymore. Like people getting frozen in an ice chamber.
Yeah, all
See,
that kind of
I
shit.
like that shit.
Yeah. Well, that was always what was interesting about it. Like, that's how they got me with the whole, like,
That's the
like,
Luke and Laura shit.
Yeah, but also too, like they'd bring in some weird, like evil guy or some spy angle, like
But
you know
yeah,
what I mean,
it
kind
got
of
a
thing.
little James Bond at one point.
Yeah, my mother pulled me in the kitchen once. She's like, "Watch this. Come here. They're gonna go in the back, in the secret area or whatever." And so it was like a radiator fucking slid to the side. They went to some computer room. She was trying to like wow me with that. I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm good with Days of Our Lives. They have the same thing." There's a secret computer room in that other guy's house. I was like, I'm good. So that's that.
That's
Somehow,
how we
Benny.
That's how we got Demi Moore.
That's how we got a lot of people with soap operas. We
That's
got
how we
think
got MacGyver.
we got to thank Facts of Life for.
That's right. MacGyver was on General Hospital, wasn't he?
Yep, he was on that before he was on. Before he was MacGyver and before he went to Stargate.
Yeah. Richard Dean Anderson.
I am looking. Okay, I'm scrolling too fast, and we get too much junk mail in here. All right, so we got another one in here. It's from Steph Muniz.
Hey, baby
Muniz.
doll.
Hey, Steph, how
Baby
you
doll.
doing? How's the Gotham Lights doing?
Well, the lights, they're up to episode 100. You can hear us, actually, if you go check out their episode 100. We gave them a big shout-out that was like a tiny sample of
That's
our
right, we
shenanigans. We basically took over their show for 3 minutes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I am not surprised. There's proof of that in the audio, Jay. So
Happy
tune into
100.
that, kids.
Yeah.
And a special appearance by Frankie Mogwai.
Baby doll. Yeah, he did infiltrate that,
He
didn't
did it once again.
Yeah.
So Steph says, "Hey, you guys, I'm spending the afternoon in the Arizona Science Center to see the traveling Pompeii exhibit. So my question for you, I don't know where this is going. Are any of you interested in ancient society? And if so, do you have a favorite era? Pre-civilization, ancient Roman, whatever. That'll do it for me. Take care, fellas. Your pal, Steph. I like the dinosaur era. No,
I
not
like
really.
1920s New York City.
The
Yeah, I bet.
Dinobots, those were good.
Yeah, there
Those
you
were
go.
good times.
What was good times?
Or 1930s Chicago.
Right, I wonder why. Let me tell you something, Jay. You like that time, but if you went back there,
I fit right the hell in.
well, if you got a job on the docks, one of these guys, one of these kinds of guys, a little broken nose. Kind
However,
of guy.
I couldn't go to that era with this goatee.
Now you'd have to shave.
It'd have to be a pencil thin.
Oh, that's true. You'd have to trim it down, shape
Yeah.
it right, and get your zoot suit or whatever the fuck they wore back then.
The bowler.
But here's the thing: you're going back into those eras. You better hope you make the right choices, because first of all, remember, there's no air conditioning, and there's no deodorant. All right, it's a very different world based on that alone
Ice
in America.
boxes, no refrigeration.
Okay, keep that in mind. All right.
Okay.
B or C or D, wherever we're up to.
Outhouses.
And it's like, Dust Bowl era. The whole market's going to collapse. 1921 to 30s.
Wait a second. They did have the John with the chain, right?
Yes, that's cool shit. Yeah, but they did have that.
Yeah, but not everybody
Gravity.
had toilets in their houses yet.
Yeah, the chain was to the ceiling. What the hell happened? What the fuck is the?
Could you imagine if you had to go in the tank? I got to go get a ladder to go in my toilet tank. It's up to the ceiling because it's got to be gravity fed.
Right.
How would we get the water up there? I don't understand.
To be
And-
quite
Centrifugal
honest with you.
force.
don't forget also electricity not in everybody's houses yet either.
Yeah, a lot of shortcomings in those 20s and 30s. People forget.
The Dutchman, Dutch Schultz,
Yeah.
killed in Newark.
And you know what? Not everybody was as friendly to Italians.
That's not a big deal. Lots of people get killed in Newark.
No. A guy like you wants to travel back to old New York and hang out with Bill the Butcher
Maybe.
from Gangs, New York.
Well, that predates.
Bill the Butcher.
See that's like.
Oh, that's going back.
That's 70 years before the 20s.
Oh, yeah.
That's 1850s.
Something. Yeah. It's good times. It's a real good time.
I took the father, now I'll take the son.
You want to fight me? We'll do it on the streets. I don't even know if that's a line, but it feels like it. That's my thing. I don't really get the line. I'm in the ballpark.
You know, when There Will Be Blood came out, my
Yeah.
buddy of mine, I said, "You gonna go see There Will Be Blood?" He said, "No, I already saw Gangs of New York."
Oh, is that it? That's it?
That's what he
I saw
said.
this guy chew the scenery once. I'm good now. I never have to see him act again. You know why
No.
I had to see that movie? Because people were talking about the milkshake. I'm like, the milkshake? Yeah, there's a milkshake thing. And I didn't, and outside the movie,
What, they didn't have a condom tree?
and outside, good call, Bob. Good call. They did give it away. They did spoil it. They did spoil it in a way. Where like the whole movie, I was waiting for what's this milkshake bit, and then like at the end, like that's where it is.
I actually like Gangs of New York a lot. You know what I mean?
Of course you do.
And There Will Be Blood
None of us are surprised to hear.
is literally like when I saw There Will Be Blood, I said, don't even nominate anyone. Just fucking give it to them.
Yeah, just close it down for a year. You know, that's the kind of performance he does though. Like, he fucking if he's not chewing the scenery,
But
He's
I
not in
watched
it.
them back to back once, and they are different.
they're completely different. They're totally different animals, especially with that guy.
I'm an oil man.
I'm an oil man, you see, and I'm here to take all your land. Some people are confused because you have identical twins. Most people don't really realize what's going on in this movie. You can invest with me and my son.
I've abandoned my child.
I'm alone about my one.
Brilliant stuff.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I have a straw across the room.
All the way. All right, enough of that. Let's get into one from a familiar friend.
Hey, Wesley.
Oh, Wesley.
This guy gets his own theme music.
We're at 368 hearts.
Who's in there giving us all those
Wesley.
hearts?
It's all Wesley.
Is it all Wesley? Come on, Wesley.
Benny, why don't you put your drink down and do a couple hearts?
You think Benny's having a cold?
I think he's having a cold one.
A cold one? Well, he's not from here. We don't really want. Does he drink cold beer? I guess is my question.
I can
Or is he
see
dr- or is
Benny
he
and I
drinking
at
like
the
room
bar
temperature?
saying,
Oh, just drinking.
just drinking
Yeah.
and
Oh no,
shooting the
absolutely.
fucking
Jay, I
shit.
can see you drinking with anybody who's like, let's go drinking.
That's true. Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So Wesley says, "Hey, you gentlemen,
Hey, you, Wesley.
Smokey." Okay. Hey, you gentlemen, Smokey. This is not Nam. This is bowling. There are rules. That's a John Goodman quote.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Again, I'll make a note after show today because he says we never did get Bob's story about the attic fire. So, all right. So I gotta write it down on a Post-it note. I guess is the deal. But we have plenty of those lying around. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it to make sure that we remember in the after show because we're running out of time right here. So it's let's run it down. Okay, after show. AS is going to be the attic fire.
Okay. I hope I could do the story justice because I tend to keep things like that short.
Yeah, let's
It's a long time ago.
not build it up too much. But
Yeah.
we're also going to talk a little bit about Florida, and then there was something else I think. Maybe?
Deadpool.
I guess we could revisit.
Spoiler.
Spoilerish on Deadpool. I guess we could a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like we kind of. I don't know. I'm talked out on it a little bit, but we'll figure out something else too. I don't know. We always tend to wing it. That's the after show. It's not about following rules. So,
Fuck the rules.
Fuck the rules. And
We don't need no stinking rules.
fuck the guys who made them. All right, and I want to say a big thank you if that person is still listening, because I can't tell if it's a he or a she, but K2 Blazer, who was in the chat room, is actually following us on Mixler now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow.
Cool, thank you.
And
What year is this K2 Blazer? Because I'm gonna buy it.
you know what I mean? Is it?
Yeah.
Is that a truck? Is
It's
that
a
vehicle?
Chevy, yeah.
it's a
I mean, I
real-
know
yeah.
a Blazer is,
It's
but
a-
the K2 is a line model.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a cool line too.
Yeah.
All right. I bet you he drives one, or has always loved it.
Well,
Bet you-
anybody with the screen name of K2 Blazer.
better be a fan.
Yeah.
Better be a
Yeah.
fan. Or he's just a
They
guy
should
who
have-
likes
probably
to,
has one.
I'm thinking maybe he's a guy who goes up on mountains and smokes weed. That's where I take it to.
However-
K2 Blazer.
That could be.
That could be.
Dodge had the Ram Charger in the late 70s, and I always loved that. I always wanted to
Sure. Who
buy
doesn't-
one and,
Doesn't love the Chargers. You know what I mean?
the Ram Charger.
Oh, the Ram
Ram
Charger.
Charger.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I just thought a regular Charger.
No, this is the Ram one.
It's like somebody injected fucking like the mutant virus into a station wagon, and
So from the chat room, Benny Livewire is listening while on the bus to answer a previous
Hey.
question. And then I guess K2 is not in the chat room right now. Wesley said he said it was an 85.
oh,
Okay.
beautiful.
Ain't that sweet? Ain't that sweet?
Like somebody injected a Plymouth Volare bomb.
Well, earlier in the show, I did
Yeah.
catch.
Pretty much.
I did catch that K2 had asked, "What is this? A comedy show or a movie/TV review show?"
it's all of the above.
I said
a little
both.
both,
My,
little
answer,
both.
my answer was both.
It's dysfunctional in all areas.
Oh,
So
any area where we apply or try to get into,
Yeah.
it's quite. Did you hear the opening? Okay.
What
Started
de-
great, collapsed within minutes.
What Deadpool is to superhero movies, we are to podcasting.
That's
that-
a broad.
yeah.
That's a bold statement. Oh, it's a bold statement. I'll go with.
Showgirls.
It all we had good intentions at the time, and then
Yeah.
it turned into that.
Yeah.
So that's the showgirls analogy to us. I'll go
Right.
with it.
So what's going on here now? What's next? We got more.
We're done. We're done.
We're done.
We're wrapping
All right.
it up. We're in a
So
rap ski zone.
We're
I
gonna
think.
say goodbye skis.
I think we're gonna say goodbye skis. I'm
Gonna
just gonna
go
take.
urinate.
We're gonna give our twitskis.
Yeah. I'm just taking one quick glance over to the email box just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Nope. Okay. Folks, this is the rap ski part. So thanks for listening. If you're listening live, stick around.
Appreciate it.
If you're not listening live, we do the after show. You can only hear it live at
Yeah.
mixler.com/wicked-theory, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Saturday night. If you miss it, it's still available. It's on our Patreon account, but at a buck a month, it gets you access to a bunch of stuff. Gets you the back catalog for all of that nonsense.
Yes.
And for a lot of other stuff that we're slowly rolling out over there. And then, it supports the show.
Yep.
Helps keeps the show alive, pays for the show. I mean, there's like basically 3 shows in the stable now. And it's really only this show that asks for the money. I got to start pushing it, I think, on the other outlets.
It also asks the question. Where these fucking people come from?
Well, if they join the Patreon, then we
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Like,
where these fucking people?
what country are you from?
Why were you?
What ain't no country I ever heard of? So with that,
Twitter accounts.
Twitter accounts. Uncle Jay, where can people find you on Twitter?
Uncle Jay's thing.
Thing. I like it very much. Uncle Brother Bob.
Bob WTPC.
There you go. You can find me at Wicked Theory. You find the show at wickedtheory.com and some other stuff there. You can find it at iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, all that stuff. Whatever good podcasts are given away for free. Be a friend of the show. Send us emails. Reach out. Give us likes, shares, all that stuff. Support the show. If you don't got money but you want to support the show, that's the way to do it too. Give us ratings and stuff on iTunes.
Yeah,
help
man.
us get up in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, what do I got to do? We got to start giving away stuff to entice? Because I hear other shows do that, and I feel like it's like do
like
we want to
bribing.
bribe people into
No,
doing it?
fuck
I
that.
really don't, but it's like the way to kind of like get it done. It's like to say like, oh, if you do X, Y, Z, we'll give you something, and it's like, I don't know. I don't want to beat people over the head for it either.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, with that, Brother Bob's going to take us out. In the
Genuine.
break, you hear some Ultraphonix.
The Wicked Theory Podcast podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.